getting your mind outside of where you normally would be. Normally, I would be where, or I mean, normally we would be what our peer group is telling us. Hey, you should do this. Hey, you should do that. Right? But if you got the right peer group, they're gonna tell you, no, go out, stretch yourself, see more than what you can. Right? Don't just stay in the same area, man. Because if you do, you stay in the same area, you think the same way, you're gonna get the same results. I want to be in a position where I can help whoever I want to help anytime I want to. Anytime I want to. But how am I gonna get there, man? First of all, I gotta build my financial situation to a place where I can do something like that. Then I gotta, you know what I'm saying, make sure that I'm keeping my mind in a righteous place so that I can constantly think like that. Anyway, y'all, I just want to inspire y'all, man, to get out, trust yourself, man. Remember, I made the video, the box. Get out the box. Because what happens is your parents give you a box. Your peer group gives you a box. Your school gives you a box. The church gives you a box. The temple gives you a box. The mosque gives you a box. Everybody gives you a box. But it's your job to think outside of that box. The doctors gave me a box. They said, Clarence, this is how you need to eat. This is how you need to drink. This is how you need to think about this situation. This is how they gave me a box. I asked God to help me think outside that box. And now look at me, up running around. I can still put it on somebody if I got to, right? But where was I a couple years ago, man? I was in a hospital, right? Shout out to the creator of the universe, man. Right? The story goes, God said, you don't like one of my days? Make a day. You make a day. Let's see if you can make a better day. You don't like one of these sunny mornings? You make a sunny morning. But you can't make a sunny morning. So you need to give thanks to somebody who can make this sunny morning, who can make a beautiful ocean like this. Give thanks, man. Always be thankful, man, because you never know when the test is coming for you and all your goodies are going to get snatched away. And people are going to say, then your faith is going to be tested. And if you make the wrong move, it might not be such a good thing, right? Anyway, Brother Clarence, I'm out here at the Trump Golf Country Club out here in Rolling Hills, man. Try to inspire you guys. You guys see the breakwater. The Brotherhood is over there. Everybody's walking up the trails. You got the ocean out here. You got the sunshine. You got the clouds. You got everything out here, man, to make life, man, as beautiful as it could possibly be. Remember, count your blessings. Count your blessings. Don't worry about what's not in your pocket. Be thankful for what's in your pocket. Anyway, see y'all in the booth. I might go tape a couple other places, but if not, see y'all in the booth.
Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the evil that men do. Father God, I pray and ask that you help me to have mercy on others the same way I would want you to have mercy on me. Father God, I also ask that you help me to be quick to forgive and slow to get angry. Amen, amen, amen. These young dudes out here don't respect shit until you put the barrel in their ear and let the text spit. I just might catch a case on my next hit, remove their whole face on some special effect shit. So show respect, trick, or I'ma have a flashback. Digging through the dresser like fuck it, where my mask at? The mash back with the banger and damage shit and say fuck everything I learned in anger management. Hop back on some east side managed shit and push a nigga's top back when I let the cannon spit. Start planning shit, premeditation. I'm in love with the streets again, rededication. Casket or cremation when I shoot you down. I was built for the smoke like a hookah lounge. I keep big shit that sound like a bazooka sound, and I shoot quicker than ain't gotta be a hoop around. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Gun on me, it ain't never for show, homie. I'm far from a bully, but I'm never a hoe. Get out of line, my Beretta will blow. Real talk, we can take the beef wherever we go. I bring it to your front door like I'm Uber Eats. I guarantee you listen up when this Ruger speaks. Plus I maneuver through these streets like a ghost, and I'm handy with the heat. I cook a nigga like a roast. On me, homie, this is not a boast. I will still come through, boy, and stop a nigga's post. Play him close, man, Eric will ease it. Quickly off the waistband, man, and Eric will squeeze it. Leave you niggas laid out dead or paraplegic. Niggas playing in these streets while I'm very strategic. I come to your house dressed like the gas man. Shoot you 9 times, leave you stretched by the trash can. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. I don't put shit on Facebook, I just holler in person. Put the pistol in your mouth while you holler and cursing. All that shit you kept rehearsing and put on your live, got your clap with the big 4-5. You bitch nigga, if you tell me to pull up, I'ma do that. That nigga who was whooping, first nigga that I shoot at. Ski mask on my face, bystanders be like, who that? I ain't with the talking, bitch boy, I thought you knew that. Leave his brains where my shoe at and bounce like I'm on a trampoline. Leave you laid out, nigga, like you camping on the scene. If you want something sweet, grab a peach or tangerine. Niggas won't smoke, well fuck it, I'ma let them handle steam. AR with the beam, you see the red dot? We tug on this trigger, nigga. It'll make your head pop. Blood pouring down to your shoes, call it Red Sox. Your brains hanging all over your shoulders like some dreadlocks. Expect the gang of dead off if they ever cross the line. The Lord said in the Bible, oh, revenge is mine. So I'm just trying to find a righteous path between the two. Before I lose control and do the shit I used to do. This being humble shit is new. I'm trying to turn the other cheek, but I ain't never been a bitch, so watch your mouth when you speak. Your mercy's what I seek, so I pray on bended knees. Don't let me get the K with the extended clip and squeeze. Lord, please. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps.
All right, y'all. That was Brother Eric, 16 to Life. And shout out to Brother Eric, man. He's making some moves, man. He's making some real good moves, man. You know, he got a cartoon now. On some of his stuff is being animated as we speak. And that is a very smart brother right there, man. But shout out to Brother Eric, man. You can go on to his YouTube page, 16 to Life. You can hear some funny stories, and now you're gonna be able to see some animation of some of the stuff that some of the stories that he's told, man. Funny dude, man. Good dude. I talked to him yesterday, man. Yeah, man. He's just a good dude, man. You know, smart businessman. Just a good dude, man. Just But I just touched in with him, man. Just checked in with him, tapped in, see what was going on with him, man. And he's a very conscientious young man. But shout out to Brother Eric. Appreciate you for letting us use this music, man. We appreciate you. You know what I mean? So shout out to Brother Eric. But anyway, you can go on over to 16 of Life, the YouTube page, and you're gonna find a lot of different stories that he is out there, narrating out there for you. All right, y'all. That's Brother Eric. All right. What are we doing? What are we doing? Today is the big show, man. Today is the Sunday show. See, I know on the Sunday show what we do, right? What we do is we do the whole thing, man. We do the news, the hit parade, the rescuing the black boys, the Black History Minute, the job of the week, and then we get to the lead topic, man. So if you guys want to tap in, you gotta give us about an hour because you know what I mean. It takes time to go through all this stuff and then get to the lead topic. All right, y'all. So let's move on. Now, those of y'all might be saying, "Well, where's Rico? I don't know where's Rico. I don't know. Send him the link. I don't know where he's at, but he'll show up when he shows up. You know what I mean? I can't get mad at Rico when he's just donating his time, man. Ain't no money being exchanged hands or nothing, right? Well, ain't no money coming my way either, but and he just donating just like I'm donating. So can't get mad at a brother for coming late or not showing up at all when he's not getting paid, right? But shout out to Rico, man. Shout out to Rico Young. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that video that we put up about the story that Rico told about being so poor, man, that when the firemen came to his house, they saw how poor he was. They was like, damn. And they went out there and bought his family a Christmas tree, bought the kids presents. I mean, damn. That was a very powerful story. Very powerful story. Shout out to Rico for that one, man. Woo, man, woo wee. But it just goes to show you, man. See, we out here thinking for us, it's no, giving $20, $30, $40, $50, $100. We thinking, oh man, that's no big deal, right? It's not a big deal. Giving backpacks away. We even had a person come over here and say, you know what? Backpacks ain't important. Kids, what they want to do now is they have laptops now, right? Kind of, saying that I don't care, man. If you're that poor, I don't care if you get a sweat sock for free. You're gonna feel good. You're gonna feel good about yourself, right? It may turn your whole life around, right? It may. It may. It may, man. It may. Because man, some of these kids, man, they living so bad, man. But what do most of us do? We turn the other cheek, man. We turn, we cross on the other side of the street. You can't save everybody, but you can save somebody, right? Can't save everybody, but you can save somebody, right? So we need to be found trying to do the best we can to try to help some of these, especially the children, man. Especially these children. I know we got grown men running around saying there ain't nothing, for grown men. I understand that. But we should start with the children first, right? That's what every society that thrives, they put a lot and invest a lot into their children, right? Anyway, let's do some shout outs here. We got Brother Bon Bryant in the building. Shout out to Brother Bon Bryant, man. Man, you're talking about a very valuable helper, man. Woo, man, a very valuable helper of mine. And I appreciate him so much, man. Shout out to you, Brother B. Bob Bryant says, I don't know, Brother Clarence, you might have to take his wrench. I can't take his wrench, Bob. You know why? He don't got no wrench. He don't got no wrench, man. And people keep telling me I can give him a wrench without connecting to his page. I don't know how to do that. So somebody needs to explain that one to me because I don't know how to do that. Everybody I know, for you to get them a wrench, they have to have a YouTube page. Even if they have no subscribers, they have to have some page. You have to have a YouTube page. But as far as I can see, Rico doesn't have one. And then on top of that, people telling me, "Oh well, you know what? There's a way you can do it." One of y'all need to explain that to me. Explain how I can give Rico a wrench without him having a page. Other than that, we stuck like Chuck, right? But if he gets a chance, he'll be alone, man. Sometimes, Rico has a lot of stuff he has to do, and maybe his wife came in town. No, I think I talked to her last time I talked to him. His wife was coming in at the end of the week from out of town, so maybe he had some family stuff he had to do, man. Shout out, can't be mad at somebody who got family stuff to do, man. All right, y'all. So let's get moving, man. Let's get moving. I really didn't get too much sleep last night, man. I was like, man, I had caught a cold, and so that cold kept me up. I should have just got up, took my behind to the store, and got some cold medicine, but I didn't do it. So y'all gonna hear me struggling a little bit, but that's okay. Your little brother's tough enough to do it. All right, y'all. So let's get into it, man. Let's get everybody. Let's get moving so we can answer the real question. Today is why black men, for the most part, are not out there, in mass numbers trying to change certain situations that they got issues with. What's the problem? So we'll get into that later. But let us go into the news. Okay, the news. Let me get y'all this one. This one is a doozy, man. When I saw this, I said, man, wow. Holy smizzokes. Holy smokes. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody. By the way, we got a fundraiser going on for these children. We're gonna get into that in a minute. McDonald's faces $10 billion racial discrimination lawsuit. Holy smokes, $10 billion. McDonald's is being sued for $10 billion by a media company for the allegations of racial stereotyping by not advertising with black-owned media companies, according to a press release from Allen Media Group, the company suing the fast food chain. Holy smokes. On September 19th, U.S. District Judge Fernando Olaguin from L.A. ruled that Byron Allen of Allen Media Group could attempt to prove that McDonald's has violated Californian civil rights laws by refusing to use his networks for advertising. Oh, boy. The judge concluded that Allen has reasonable evidence to prove his claims and will allow him to continue pursuing the lawsuit. Allen claims that McDonald's has placed his studio into an African-American tier with a separate ad agency that uses a smaller budget per record. McDonald's response, Loretta Lynch, the fast food chain's lawyer, states that Allen doesn't have the evidence to prove these claims, according to CNN. The complaint is about revenue, not race, and plaintiffs' groundless allegations ignore both McDonald's legitimate business reasons for not investing more on their channels and the company's long-standing business relationships with many other diverse-owned partners, Lynch said. Details. In a statement, Allen claims that 40% of fast food customers are black. That's terrible. We need to get that down to about 10%. However, McDonald's spent 0.3% of its $1.6 billion advertising budget on black-owned media in 2019. Let's do the math on that. Let me see if we can do the math on that, y'all. Okay, let's see if we can do the math. Let's do the math. We got 1.3, okay, 1 billion, right? 1.6 billion, right? Times what? 0.3%. 4.8 million dollars, right? So $4.8 million on black-owned media, right? Out of 1.6 billion. Holy smokes. Allen says that the case is about economic inclusion of African-American owned businesses in the U.S. economy. McDonald's takes billions from African American customers and give almost nothing back. About Allen Media Group, based out of Los Angeles, Allen Media Group owns 10 television networks, including the Weather Channel, and 43 broadcast and cable television programs, according to their website. All right, y'all, what y'all think about that? What y'all think about that, man? Byron Allen is trying to say that, hey, man, y'all ain't spending no money on us, yet we eating all your food. Now, I have a different outlook on that. My thing is, the best way you can get somebody's attention is where you spend your money at, right? So we as black people, instead of always going to other people and fighting with them for them to let us be involved with their stuff, we need to make our own stuff. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I know some of you guys might think different, but my opinion is, as long as you go into your enemy to say, you gotta, you need to feed me too. The enemy is gonna give you the worst of their food. If they feed you at all, they're gonna give you the worst of their food. They're gonna give you the worst of everything, the worst of their philosophies, the worst of their treatment, the worst of everything, right? So you can't go to, person who's been oppressing you and say, hey, you need to treat me better morally. You can't go stand on a moral position. That person's gonna say, get out of here, right? What Brother Michael say, good night, right? You go to your enemy morally and say, hey, you morally should spend more money with us because we technically are almost half your clientele, right? I think the best thing is to go to black people and say, hey, man, let's don't eat that no more. That will be the biggest way to show them, maybe we made a mistake here. But until then, that's part of what we're going to talk about today, man, is how do we make stands, particularly as black men, because black women, they will march, they will protest, they get on social media and fire up social media, right? And, they will make some stuff happen. Whereas black men, man, we are, you double trouble. You're a man, which is, in this modern day, being a man is like you're a pariah just for being a man, right? And then on top of that, you're black. You just got, but I know we got these things in our, as far as society is concerned, in our way, but we have to start moving forward. But we're gonna get into that. What y'all think? Is should Byron Allen keep begging McDonald's to let him have some of their advertising budget, or should we decide to say, hey, as a group, would it make more sense for him to come to us as the people and say, this is why you need to stop eating there, because they're not even spending money with you, right? At least they used to do the gospel fest and all that. They don't even do all any of that anymore, right? They don't have to do nothing, right? There's an old saying, if you ever lived on a farm, you know what slopping hogs is, right? You don't have to cook for hogs to feed pigs. You can feed them anything. They're like monkeys. You can put trash in a bucket, wet it, and just dump it in their trough, and they're gonna eat it. And you got to feed them. And the hogs are such filthy animals that and low down and narcissistic animals that you can't feed the little hogs with the big hogs. You got to feed the big hogs by themselves. Why, Clarence? Because the big hogs will trample the little hogs trying to get to the trough, and then once they get down in the trough, they'll eat the little hogs. They just like that. They just are that type of animal. So we can't be expecting a person like that to try to help us. We have to help ourselves. We got to be realistic about the situation, man. You know what I mean? If you want them to spend more of their advertising budget, then we're gonna have to be missing in action when it comes to going up to McDonald's and ordering that quote unquote food, right? Quote unquote food. So I don't mean to be hard on McDonald's, but that food has come a long way, and it is. But if people still call it food, so have at it, man. Have at it. All right. Let's do some shout outs real quick. Shout out to OG Patrice in the building. Shout out to you, sis. Glad to have you in the building, sis. Saw you on that. Saw you on the Dominican route yesterday. You guys had me cracking up over there. Shout out to OG Patrice and Brother John from the Dominican route. Who else is in the building? Brother Anderson, my Taurus brother, man. Shout out to you, man. We back in here again, brother. Good to have you in the building, sir. Glad to have you in the building. All right, man. So anyway, y'all, that is Byron Allen, man. Byron Allen is trying to make some big moves. He's trying to be like Bob Johnson, make some big moves, man. Shout out to Byron Allen. Appreciate it. I remember when Byron Allen was just a struggling comic in LA, man. Shout out to Byron Allen, man. All right, let's move on. Shout out to Sister Annie. I just was saying your name the right way, and now I'm back saying Sister Annie. Shout out to you, sis. Glad to have you in the building. As always. All right, let's move on, y'all, because we got a lot to get to today. We got to find out why the Brotherhood is not that successful. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. Oh my gosh, this is an ugly one right here. This one is an ugly one right here, y'all. Let's see. First of all, we gotta do this. We gotta give y'all the right thing, man. Oh man. Okay, let us go into this situation, man. All right. This is an article that about this former Boy Scout leader sentenced to 50 years for child molestation. Holy smokes! How I don't understand how they. Okay, so I'm gonna play the video. I'm gonna read the article. Play the video. Avon, Indiana, a former Avon Scout troop leader was sentenced this week to 50 years in prison after pleading guilty to several charges, including child molestation and SEX misconduct. Kevin Coley of Jamestown was arrested in June on 14 felony charges, including vicarious SEX conduct, child molesting, and SEX misconduct with a minor. Ouch. He was extradited to Indiana on June 22 after he was arrested in Florida. He pled guilty last month to 4 of the charges, including 2 counts of child molesting, intercourse, and deviant SEX with victim less than 14 years of age, and 1 count of each child molesting where the defendant was at least 21 years of age, and vicarious SEX conduct where 1 child was less than 14 years old. Holy smokes. The first 2 charges carried a 50-year prison term, which Coley will serve concurrently, along with the 3rd charge, which carried a 40-year term. The vicarious SEX conduct charge carried a 5-year sentence, which was suspended by the judge. Coley's arrest resulted from an investigation that was reported to Hendrick County detectives in February 2022, when a man came forward to report that he had been subjected to an inappropriate SEX contact by one of his scout troop elders as far back as 2012. In court documents, one alleged victim said that he was 12 or 13 when the SEX encounters began with Coley and another child. He said that the encounters involved oral and rural sex. When the police spoke to the person who was the other child involved, he told them that Coley would reward them for certain acts by allowing them to stay up late with ice cream. Nice. He told police the alleged abuse began when he was 11 or 12 years old. Holy smokes. Cody is accused of SEX acts involving another boy who was just 11 or 12 years old at the time. Another victim told police he was between 14 and 16-year-old when Cody allegedly watched porn with him and other children. Holy smoke. Clarence, why do you keep doing this? Why do you keep doing the hip hop? Because these dudes are out here. Some of us got children. Some of us got brothers. We got sisters. And we got and these people are out here masquerading as regular people. Right? Let me play the video for you.
And now we are learning new info about the crimes that a former Avon Scout leader is accused of committing. Kevin Cooley is charged with vicarious sexual conduct, child molesting, and sexual misconduct with a minor. A man came forward over the winter, telling police of inappropriate sexual misconduct by a Scout troop leader as far back as 2012. Court documents reveal that alleged abuse involved kids as young as 11 or 12. Police say one of the victims told them that Cooley would reward them with ice cream for certain sexual acts. He is now held on a $100,000 bond. He is set to go on trial at the end of August.
Yeah, man. All right, man. So, of course, obviously, this dude's a creepo, right? But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You working with creepos. Did you know that? You working with creepos. You going to the store and you buying groceries from creepos. You know what I mean? You taking your children to school and dropping them off, and there's creepos at the school. This is the this is the era of the side eye, man. You got to look at everybody with that side eye, man, until they show you that hey, they with the for real business, right? You can't put your children in front of like you guys saw me when I was out there at Donald Trump Resort, right? Little girl comes up to me and is just talking to me about God and everything, and was talking to me. Her parents are way, almost a half a mile away down this trail, right? She goes, "There, I'm here with my parents." Because I said, "Hey, can I put you on camera?" She said, "Yeah, sure." I go, "Okay, no problem." I thought she was about 18 or 19. She turned out to be 14 years old. I said, "No, sweetheart, I can't put you on camera. No, I can't do that. But I appreciate the time that you spent with me, right?" But she was up there with me by herself. I was like, "That's crazy, man." She's waving to her parents. Hey, her parents waving back. Hey, I'm like, if I was her dad, I would have been like Jesse Owens up there thing trying to find out what the hell is going on up here, right? That's what I would have done. But they didn't do that, man. They looked at her and said, "Hey, and I get it. I mean, I may not look like a creepo, but still, man, everybody needs, even me, we all need the side eye, man. If, certain situations, you know what I mean? I would have never spoke to the girl. If I had known she was 14 years old, I would have said hi and bye, and that was it. Right? But I didn't know she was 14 until I go, "Hey, can I use this footage that we had that long talk, and hey, can I use this footage?" "Yeah, sure, no problem." By the way, just in case, how old are you? 14. 14? Oh, I go, "Oh no, I can't use your footage." No. No, I can't use any of that. That's why you guys see, I just blocked all of that out. She talked for about maybe 10 minutes. I just had to just edit it all out, right? But man, there's certain situations where we got to just look out for it, right? Now, I assumed that the girl was like 18 or 19 years old by the way she looked and the way she was talking, very mature, right? And so I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah. And I'm like, wait a minute." She's at 14. I was like, "Oh no." Ay, ay, ay. But hey, like I said, we the only thing we got to do is we got to just check everybody out. Just check them all out, man. Some people don't have no bad intentions, right? Most people won't have bad intentions, but some people will have bad intentions. So you got to look at that. You got to look at that, man. Patrice said, Did you hear about the class action lawsuit against McLaren Hall Children's Center in L.A. for decades of SDX abuse of children in foster care systems? No, I haven't, but I will look into it, Patrice. I will look into it. I haven't heard of it. I didn't hear about it, but I'm sure it'll come up, and we may have to discuss it. You know what I mean? But anyway, protect your children. Make sure you watch out for your children. Why are you still doing a hit parade, Clarence? Because y'all taking y'all children to these dance recitals. You taking your children to a football practice, basketball practice, and be honest with you, you don't know these people. You don't know these people. These people used to leave their kids with me, man. They didn't know me. they didn't know me. They just leaving their kids with me for 2 or 3 hours, right? Some of them wouldn't even come back. They act, oh, I forgot to go practice over at 8 o'clock. No, you didn't. You know, your boyfriend was just tearing your back out, right? It was mostly single moms. Boyfriend was just tearing your back out. All right, cool. But then call me, say, hey, I'm on my way, or this, that, because I gave everybody my number. I'm on my way, I'm busy. I got to sit here with your child waiting on you, right? Oh, man, yeah, man. But see, sometimes the people that not actually coaching, they don't understand what's all involved with it, man. They just like, oh, he'll be there. You know, everybody loves my son. Yeah, I love your son up to 8 o'clock. Then I gotta give him back, right? Or daughter, whatever, right? Shout out to New Growth. Glad to have you in the building, man. All right. But hey, that's the hit parade. Y'all gotta understand these creepos are out here, man, and you gotta watch your children, man. You know, see, back in the day when I was coaching, people would leave their children. They would drop their boys off, and even I had a couple teams that had girls on, and the girl they would drop the girl, they would drop everybody and just leave. You can't do that no more, man. You can't do that. Now you got to stay and make sure everything's going the way. Now we got to go. You got to make sure everything's going the way it's supposed to be going the way it's supposed to go. All right. So y'all keep your eyes open, man. Your eyes peeled. But Clarence, that's discriminatory. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. You look at everybody with the side eye, even me. You look aside. You see a certain situation around me. You look at me and say, "Hey, Clarence, explain yourself." And give me a minute to explain myself, right? But I'm the type of dude, man. I probably like the situation that happened with me and the girl, the 14-year-old chick, where she just started talking and everything. That would never have happened if I had known she was 14 years old. If I could outwardly have saw that she was 14 years old, that never would have happened, man. I would have quickly cut her off and said, "Oh, you know, that's okay. Thank you anyway." But you know, and I would have kept it pushing, right? But anyway, things can happen like that, right? Things can happen like that. So got to be careful out there. Even those of us as men, especially men, we got to really be careful, man. We got to be careful. See, I just assumed that the girl was over the age of 18. I just assumed because of her continence, right? Come to find out, she wasn't. Right? So we gotta be conscious of the situations that we putting ourselves into. We got to be conscious of that, man. Make sure you be aware of the fact that, hey, man, this person may not be of age before you get into a conversation with them, or because you just might be just trying to be nice, but the setup, the surroundings, the environment may not be a situation where people looking from the outside would be like, oh yeah, that's no problem over there, right? Anyway, all right, let's move on, man, because we got a lot to get to today, y'all, and we're doing good on time. Let's rescue y'all. Can we rescue some black boys? Let's rescue some black boys. Let's bring the good doctor in, and let's rescue some black boys. Let's do about 10 minutes with the good doctor, Dr. Confuju, man. I don't think he's in good health right now, man. Last time I saw him, he didn't look too good, but he did a lot of good work, man. Okay, this is a new video with the good doctor, man. So let's shout out, let's listen to the good doctor.
Now you raised the question. How long you stay in Head Start? Year? 2 years at the most? How long you stay in prison? The rest of your life? Question number one. Question number two, does Head Start work? A 19-year study documents that Head Start works, but in prison, 85% of the inmates that get released go right back in. But as Jesse Jackson says, we have two choices. We can either send me to Penn State or to State Penn. It's your choice. We have got to find ways to intervene. Now, we have a whole workshop just on the fourth grade syndrome. I now want to ask you, what are some of the reasons you feel to explain why Black students, especially Black boys, were doing so well K through 3, and now scores declining in the intermediate and upper grades? What explains it? Yes.
I think the learning style changes abruptly in fourth grade from what might have been more right brain activities in the primary grades into all of a sudden all left brain activities.
Okay, so a change in learning styles or methodology from the teacher, from a holistic learning style to a left brain. Okay, very good. Any others? Yes.
I think that there's a lot of rejection on the part of the female teachers in the classroom.
And the rejection increases with the upper grades? Why do you think it increases?
Because of the students, perhaps it's his natural makeup, hyperactivity and that sort of thing.
And that may be increasing. Well, it may be increasing because we're now expecting them to stay in school or stay in a chair even longer. Okay. Any others that contribute to this fourth grade syndrome? We have a change in learning style. We have the teacher's outlook on the student. What else? Yes.
The student becomes more culturally aware and differs significantly from the teacher often.
Okay, so the child's now becoming more aware of their culture and racial identity. Okay, very good. Any others? The major reason you have not given yet, and maybe that's why this problem is still with us, Terry. First name is
Richard.
I'm sorry, Richard.
Well, the peer group starts to form and become stronger about the peer
And
group.
that's unfortunate, Richard, that you said that, because as the age increases, peer pressure is on the increase, while parental involvement is on a decrease. I don't know who told parents when your child gets older, they need less of your time rather than more. When I speak to Head Start parents, 80% of them are there. Elementary school, 30%. High school, almost a joke. We have to work on that. That's another workshop too, on parenting all the way through, not just in those quote unquote tender years. But the major reason, it's not on the board yet. Still looking for it. Yes, Gwen?
I think too that young boys, and particularly young Black boys, in the primary grades, they have many mother figures, and they have very few men figures, and particularly Black male figures. And I think it makes a big difference come grade 4.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think it's the major reason. And let me now get my first position. I sincerely believe that only men can make boys men. Now don't misquote me. I didn't say that a single female parent or female teacher cannot rear or educate her child, but she need not do that by herself. But she calls upon her father, her brother, an uncle, a male neighbor, a nephew, a coworker. There needs to be some men in our children's lives. I want you to explain to me how a boy is going to grow up to be a man if he's never seen any. In order to be anything, you must see it first. Remember in the earlier workshop, and I'll go through this very quickly, from the University of Michigan, we wanted to find out what the major influence on children. We said 1950, it was home, school, church, peer group, and television. And then we gave you 1980. Home was still number 1, peer group in the number 2 position, television 3, school dropped down to number 4, church last on the list. Let's go back to my statement. My statement said that only men can make boys men. Now let's see where Black boys are going to find men. Let's first of all look at his home. 62% of all Black children live in a single-run household. It's a very good chance he would not find a man here. I'm going to hold off on the streets and drop down to television. Can you name me 5 positive adult Black men on television outside the news? And you can't name Cosby because the show just started. Name me 5.
Outside the news.
Outside the news.
Jefferson.
And you better not say George Jefferson. So they find very few Black male role models on television. Now let's drop down to the schools. 83% of all elementary school teachers are women. 95% of all teacher aides are women. And when do men teach? After the critical 4th grade, or they're in the upper grade, or they're a PE teacher, the janitor, or the principal. Very few before the 4th grade where Black boys need them the most. And lastly, the church. Most young people, men don't go to church. And the reason is we lie to them. First of all, we made Jesus Christ white. The man surely was not white. And we have a book called What Color Was Jesus to explain that. He had hair the texture of wool and feet the color of bronze. But secondly, the Lord's Prayer says on earth as it is in heaven. Young people and men want some action. They want some programs. If there are no programs in your church, they will see you later in heaven. As a result of not finding a man at home, few on television, few in school, and not wishing to attend church, the last place is the streets. And that's the problem. The streets do a very poor job making men. They do a better job making pimps, pushers, and a few basketball players. Their hero, Michael Jordan, has said there were 1 million brothers that won his job last year in the NBA. Of this 1 million, only 400,000 will even make it to play high school ball. Of this 400,000, only 4,000 will make it to play college ball. Of this 4,000, only 35 will go to the coveted NBA. Of this 35, only 7 start. And the average life in the NBA is 4 years. You got 1 million brothers looking for 7 full-time jobs that last 4 years. This conspiracy is complex. It goes beyond the NBA. Even schools are in on it. What will be the first thing you see when you walk into a Cincinnati high school? A large trophy case. And that was even schools give more glory to their ball players than the scholars. That's said in the earlier workshop. Where are the pep rallies for the honor roll?
Woo. Oh man, the good doctor, man, the good doctor. Shout out to Dr. Confusion, man. I hope he's doing better, man. Last time I saw him, man, he didn't look too good. He didn't look like he was in good health, man. But shout out to Dr. Confusion, man. But you know, he laid down a lot of information, man. About black boys in particular in school, and how there's some ways that they could be redirected and changed, man. Because if your black boys, if your men are not building in your society, you got nothing. You got nothing. You know what I mean? You got nothing, man. The women can do whatever. The women can do everything. But one thing women can't do is build the society. They can enhance it and make it better. But they're not a builders of societies. Men are builders of societies, man. We have to get out here and build the society, right? So there's a place for both of us in this world. At least that's my opinion, y'all. You know, men disagree with me, but that's my opinion. But we here to disagree with each other, right? In love, right? Anyway, that's the good doctor, man. We rescuing black boys, man. Try to find the ways to, you know, Patrice was reading to them. But if you don't have children, if you have children in your own home, man, try to take care of the children in your own home first. Try to make sure those children are taken care of first before you step out there and try to save somebody else's children. Right? All right, y'all. How many of y'all know who the Little Rock Nine is? Huh? You know who the Little Rock Nine is? Well, Clarence, we don't know who. Well, guess what? Your little brother's gonna tell you. They're gonna straighten you out about the Little Rock Nine, right? Because you know we do the Black History Minute every Sunday here. All right, the Little Rock Nine. On September 23rd, 1957, 9 African American students effected history in such a manner that they may forever be known as the Little Rock Nine. They were 9 students who bravely desegregated, 9 black students, by the way, who bravely desegregated Little Rock Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas. They were finally able to enter the school under federal protection and the authority made possible by the U.S. Supreme Court Brown versus Board of Education ruling issued on May 17, 1954. The Supreme Court's ruling had made it perfectly clear that laws enabling segregation of schools were unconstitutional, right? So Little Rock Nine, they got to go to school with Army escorts because they had a sheriff there. I think his name was Bull Connor, and he was not allowing. He was barricading the doors and wouldn't allow black students to. Even though the Supreme Court said that you know the Arkansas schools had to be desegregated, he was not going to allow it to happen. Right? He was going to fight them, and which he did. And eventually they had to bring in the Army. Right? Students registered to enter the school, but segregation, along with support of Governor Oral Faubus, were adamantly opposed to their enrollment. Right? On On September 4, 1957, the first day of school, Governor Fabius sent the Arkansas National Guard to support the segregationists in blocking the students' entry to the school. President Dwight Eisenhower ordered that the 101st Airborne Division of the United States Army to federalize the Arkansas National Guard and take them from under control of Governor Fabius. The students were finally able to attend school under protection of the 101st Airborne and the now federally controlled Arkansas National Guard. The images of students being barred from school by troops echoed around the world. The Little Rock Nine became an integral part in the civil rights movement because of its national and international publicity. President Bill Clinton presented each of the Little Rock Nine the Congressional Medal in 1999. The Little Rock Nine were Ernest Green, Elizabeth Eckford, Jefferson Thomas, Terrence Roberts, Carlotta Walls, Minnie Jean Brown, Gloria Ray, Thelma Mothershed, and Melba Patillo. That is the Little Rock Nine. So that was the 9 students that were brought in to desegregate Arkansas school district. They had pushback from everybody, but eventually they were allowed to get in there. All right, but that's your minute in Black History. That's your Black History Minute. Don't just take my word for it. Dig that. Dig that. Dig that. All right, so that's the Black History Minute. Let's go to your job of the week. Job of the week is the entry-level carpenter, right? You remember the Little Rock Nine, Patrice? I do too. I remember them. Vaughn said they made a movie about it called the Ernest Green Story. Yeah, I believe you're right. Yeah, but our people just don't know, man. We don't want to know about the stuff, right? We just like, hey, I just want me an iPhone, right? I don't want to know nothing about none of this stuff. It's too painful to think about that history, right? Right? And some people say, why be concerned about your past when you could just move forward, right? But our JEW friends don't think that way. Our Aryan friends don't think that way, right? Nobody thinks that way except, Black people, right? That are riding on the coat of other people's greatness, right? So anyway, that is the Little Rock Nine. You guys go check that out, man. Don't just take my word for it. Dig that. Shout out to the Little Rock Nine. All right, y'all. So we got to get into the job of the week. Job of the week. Let's see. Let's do this. Oh yeah, man. People say ain't no jobs around. Oh, okay, there ain't no jobs around. Job of the week is an entry-level carpenter. You get paid, training, and tools provided. Holy smoke! But this is in Anchorage, Alaska. Clarence, I can't go to Anchorage, Alaska. I got my family right here. Trust me. Go into your local city. Go to the Carpenters Union, and they will have the same program set up there for you. I don't care what state you live in. You go into the Carpenters Union, they will have it set up for you. Okay, so the Carpenters Union. Let's see. Job details: full time, schedule 8 hours. See, you're looking at all these goodies, right? All these benefits, but that don't mean nothing. You got to see if you the description of the job. You got to see if you qualify, right? Where you qualify, right? So if they don't have no qualifiers, then obviously all you have to do is have a high school diploma, right? And you can walk right in there, which is true in most trades. All you need is a high school diploma. Maybe not even that. Maybe you don't even need a high school diploma. All you need is just the hungriness to be ready to work, right? But we got entry-level carpenter. You can learn how to build houses, man, and then maybe start your own company at some point, right? But Clarence, I don't have time to be only making $18, $19 an hour. You got to start somewhere, bro. Got to start somewhere. Can't expect to come into a place making, $100,000 a year and you have no skills, no you don't have no skills, you have no certificates, you have nothing, and somebody's supposed to give you $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 a year. It's not gonna happen. You're either gonna have to build up your experience, build up your resume with experience, or you have to get the technical training that's going to be able to have you walk in making that kind of money. Got to be realistic with ourselves. Anyway, that's your job of the week is a entry-level carpenter going out there. This job in particular is in Alaska, but you don't even have to do that. Go to Alaska, man. I'm telling you, go to your local, whatever city you're in, go to any one of your local carpenters unions or plumbers unions or electrical workers unions or whatever, and you will see that they have plenty of programs to help people that's trying to get into the business, man. All right, y'all, so that's the job of the week. Let me get rid of that. All right. We here, y'all. I think we here. All right, so let me take this stuff down. All right. Let me ask y'all a question. I was recently on some shows, some podcasts where complaints about how black men are treated in society were being thrown around, right? And so my philosophy with that was, if you don't like how you get treated in the system, then why not get out here and do something about it instead of sitting there and complaining about it, right? I mean, yeah, sure, complaining is good. You know what I mean? I mean, voicing your grievances is good. But at a certain point, you got to get up and go move out. At a certain point, if you really want something to change, you got to get out there and move something around, right? But how do we think about it? But see, why don't we, specifically as black men, how we think about each other, how we think about ourselves, right? How do we treat each other as black people? And this is what happens, man. This is an unfortunate thing that happens, man. So I got a little video we can watch here. I got a little video here we can watch. All right. All right. Now, in this video, Charles Barkley is going to be discussing or making some comments about how successful black people are people that's trying to reach for success in the black community are shunned and put down, right? Let me do this, man. Yeah, there we go. That's what I want. Okay. All right. So this is Barkley.
This is for you first. Here's what he said. He said there are a lot of black people who are unintelligent, who don't have success. It's best to knock a successful black person down because they're intelligent, they speak well, they do well in school, and they are successful. He raised a lot of eyebrows this weekend when this audio came out from a radio interview. Here's the rest of some of what he said.
When you're black, you have to deal with so much crap in your life from other black people. It's a dirty, dark secret. I'm glad it's coming out. For some reason, we are brainwashed to think if you're not a thug or an idiot, you're not black enough. If you go to school, make good grades, speak intelligent, and don't break the law, you're not a good black person. And it's
Okay. Do y'all agree with that? If you're not a thug, you're not black enough? If you pronounce your words right, you're not black enough? If you try to work hard and get good grades, you're not black enough? Y'all believe that? Some of our people are so sick they do believe this, right? But I've explained this many times before. That is a function of the jealousy That's a function of jealousy. And I told you guys, when we were talking about rescuing black boys, what happens is, and I didn't even watch Dr. Confucius. He said right there that third grade is where the pack separates, right? I hadn't even watched that, and I already know that that's just watching my own children and seeing what they went through. And in third grade, that's when things start shifting. Either they're gonna be interested or they're not interested, and you gotta do stuff to keep them interested, right? So, but that that jealousy is a function of the fact that these young men they give up on school, and so they get jealous when they see other people making school work for them. They get jealous and they get envious, and so in their envy and jealousy, what they will do is berate a person that is doing good, right? Because the demons in them are not happy when you try to do a good thing, so they will get upset, and the envy, and they will ignite the envy in you, or not you, but the envy in these people. Now, I don't think it's wrong to read as a black person. Charles Key said, a function of poor people move to a white town. Moving to a white town is not going to solve the problem. You're just going to have the jealous white people treat you the same way, right? So that's not going to solve the problem, right? That's under the assumption that white people are just these, great people, man. It's just going to take you in loving art. Some will and some won't, right? But we operating off of all of these. What's the word I want to use? We operating off of all of these. Oh man, what's the word? Stereotypes. We operating off these stereotypes instead of taking one person case by case. We got to take things case by case, right? Okay, so Charles Barkley. This is Charles Barkley. He's saying that if you want to be a good black person, or you want to do things, you don't want to go to prison, you don't want to go to jail, you're not looked at as, or you're not being a thug, or you're not an idiot, that you're not black enough, right? He said that this is the situation that a lot of our people face, right? When they try to live a lifestyle of a righteous lifestyle, right? All right, let's see what else he has to say.
Dirty, dark secrets, Anthony. Listen, I hate to bring white people into our crap, but as a black person, we all go through it when you're successful.
Okay, so
Lord.
Tara, he was talking about an African-American quarterback, and he said that, now again, I don't even know if the reports are true. He was saying that about Russell Wilson. He's saying Russell Wilson, members of his team don't think he's black enough and they don't like him. I don't know. That's not our reporting, but he certainly caused a firestorm. What do you make of his comments?
Well, I mean, that's Charles Barkley. He's known to cause controversy and be very frank in his words. He definitely doesn't mince words. But I mean, I may not have worded it the way he did, but I understand where he's coming from. I mean, the most racism I ever experienced in my life came from people in the black community from the time I was a little girl, because I was light skinned, because I have light eyes, because I speak differently, because I'm educated. It was ridiculous. And if you go to my Twitter feed after the show, you're going to see all of the most disgusting, vile things predominantly coming from black folks. And I think that that's unfortunate. It's a sad commentary.
All right, y'all. The lady said that because she's light skinned and she's had to deal with racism from inside the house, right? And I believe that's true. Charles Key says they're not good people, but it's okay if your kids can get straight. But it's okay if your kids can get straight A's. They're not good people. I don't know. I don't know who's good people, man. Good people are good people. I'm not saying that. See, what I don't want to do is have us get stuck in a situation where we're saying, well, because this person is of this race, then they're a good person just because of their race, right? That doesn't make sense to me. So what makes sense to me is a good person is a good person based on them demonstrating that they are following the laws of respect of other people, right? That's the first law, respecting other people, right? If they follow that law, then maybe we can start we can sit down and dialogue about who's a good person, who's a good person. I don't think black people are bad people because they're black. And I certainly don't think white people are good because they're white. I think if you're not in a situation that presses you, of course you're gonna probably not be as have as much anxiety, and it's going to play out in your daily life. Like black people have a lot of anxiety, right? Because a lot of them are living paycheck to paycheck, and a lot of them are, like Rico said, working poor, and so a lot of them we have a lot of anxiety about a lot of different things, right? Well, white people might handle that anxiety a different way, right? Because they have more opportunities available to them, and that's just the mathematics of that. But we don't want to sit here and say, well, this person is a good person because they're white, or this person is a better person because they're white, or this person is a bad person because they're black. No, man, we all have traumas. We all have things that we trying to overcome. And so there's a certain point which, now this is what I will say, that some people have a society that is structured on this type of thinking process, and it has fallen over even into poor communities, right? So we all got to get out of that and take people for how their behavior is, not at how their color is, right? You know what I mean? You just got to look at the situation and look at this person, listen to what they're saying, and listen to watch how they move. Because some people can fool you, man. Some people look like they on our team, right? But they're not on our team. And some people, you would think that they're not on our team just by their race, but actually they're great allies, right? So just have to keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. Now, getting back to Charles Barkley, getting back to black men. Black men, I'm gonna open it up real quick. I want to check out Charles Barkley said something else of prominence, and I wanted to get to that real quick. Let's see. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, let's do this. No, we already did that. We already did this. Okay, there we go. That's what we want.
Why have you said your "I'm not a role model" commercial's the greatest thing you've ever done in your life?
Because it started to debate. Because if you go back and look when it happened, it comes up all the time too when the term role model comes up. It started a national debate.
Just because I dunk a basketball doesn't mean I should raise your kids.
Let me tell you something. When I went to Nike with this commercial, they was like, this is going to be huge. I said, that's why I want to do the commercial. 95% of the letters Nike got, the 76ers got, loved the commercial.
Yeah. How did the reaction and response you got compare to what you were expecting?
I actually thought it would be like 80-20, to be honest with you.
80 positive? Okay.
Yes. Because listen, I knew the parents, because first of all, it became a joke. I said, I'm the only guy in the world who ever got bad hate mail for telling kids to listen to their parents.
What do y'all think about Barkley? Barkley said, hey, I'm not a role model. Don't look at me to be a role model out here in these streets, right? Out here in these streets. If your kids ain't listening to you, then that's on you, right? There is no village. We don't practice the village concept anymore, right? We practice the oligarch concept, right? Where you have people that have money and they're able to separate themselves from the people that don't have money. I have money, therefore I'm better than you, right? I have money, I'm better than you. Are you? I'm a high value man. I'm better than you. I'm a high value man. I deserve to, step on your disrespect you. I deserve to be able to disrespect you by going around and being with other women while you don't know. I'm a high value man. So we're in this classist, elitist thinking process, man, and it's coming from this community, the dominant community, right? I'm better than you. And so we can have men, grown black men, that can separate themselves from the village. Hey, Mr. White Man, I'm just like you. I'm not like them. I'm not like them. I'm like you. I don't want nothing to do with them either. I'm just like you. So you want me to go out here and do your bidding? I'll go out here and say all the stuff that you can't say because you'll get canceled. But I'll say it for you. Right? All right. But what are we doing as black men, man? A lot of times we really, now when he said that I'm not a role model, I believe you're not a role model, but what I don't, the concept that was being thrown out at the time was, hey, don't have your kids look at me. I don't want that responsibility. But wait a minute, we made you rich. We bought your shoes. We made you rich. We bought the tickets to the Sixers games. And now you can't be there for our children? Well, then F you then. That's how a lot of people looked at Charles Barkley at the time. F you then. Right? Shout out to Charles Barkley. I mean, he did what he had to do. He lived his life the way he wanted to live it. But I'm just saying, if the people helped you get your thing together, right? They helped you. You're gonna spit on them and by telling them, hey, don't have your kids look at me. Or I'm not, but better yet, I'm not going to be anybody I'm going to do it. I'm going to live my life the way I want to live it. And I don't want I don't want the responsibility of having to be a good person. I don't want that responsibility. I'm going to be a good person to white people only. Right? Okay, nobody said nothing wrong with being a good person to white people, but why not be a good person to everyone? And if you see somebody in need, why not step to the person in need if you got the ability, right? Shout out to Barkley, man. I mean, I'm not saying nothing, but I'm just saying this is the situation with black men where we're running away from all of these responsibilities. Don't hold me responsible. I don't want to be. I don't want. Well, but we're the reason why you able to make this money. People sacrificed so that you could make this money that you make. Yeah, but I don't want nothing to do with that. Just let me get my millions and let me go my own way. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. If the people was the reason why you got to where you got to, and sacrifices was made, then you owe. You owe. I don't owe nobody, Clarence. I did this all by myself. I heard a well-known YouTuber. This person said, there is no luck, there is no nothing. I'm the one that did all of what I did. Are you? Really? Your program is running on top of other programs that were sacrificed. People sacrificed so that you could even be in the corporate arena. People sacrificed so that you could have a free agency. Somebody had to sacrifice for that. Shout out to Marcus, by the way. Shout out to Charles Keys, by the way. There's a lot of work that needs to be done in the black community, man, for black men. But it's just too easy for us to say, "Oh, that's not my responsibility. This is not my responsibility. Why should I do that? Why should I try to teach kids?" You know, man, I remember back when I was young, man. It could be a dude on the bus, man, and he was on his way to go rob somebody. But if you talk to little kids, he would be telling the kids, "Hey, man, don't be a robber. Go to school. Get good grades. Do what you..." He would be encouraging them to do, even though he was on his way to do something crazy, right? Not today. Not today. We ain't gotten so low down and filthy. And I apologize, y'all, because I gotta get into it before I try to put us back together again. But we done got so low down and filthy towards each other, man, that we would tell our own children, we would talk to our own children like they come off the street. And then we got grown men, grown black men that say, "Hey, y'all on y'all own. This good white man, man, I never had it so good." And I'm not saying you shouldn't, live where you want to live or date who you want to date, but that don't mean you should drop a dose on the black community. There's a saying, not a saying, but it was said, the harvest is ripe, but the workers are few. The harvest is ripe. The people are ready to hear a change. They're ready for a change. Why? Because devilishment only can get them so far. They don't see that devilishment is a trap. It's a trap. Oh, you're going to have all this sex. You're going to have all this sex. I don't know if you guys was, our brother John from the Dominican Root had a show yesterday talking about the swingers lifestyle. The swingers lifestyle. And he said when he first got into it, man, he was like, "Wow, yeah." And then he realized it was a trap. It's a trap. It's a mental trap. It's a spiritual trap. Right? But you can get tempted. Try to tempt you into, being a part of something or thinking a certain way. And you get trapped there. You get trapped. And I believe black men are trapped. They're trapped in this theory, right? Of like the best thing to do is smash chicks, make money, and don't think about nobody else. When that's not our nature as black people. Our nature as black people is very giving, is very self-sacrificing. That's our nature. If you go back to our nature, that's our nature as a people, as our nature. But what are we doing that we got away from our nature? We picked up another man's nature. Right? I'm successful, but you're successful because people laid down their lives so that you could be successful. A sacrifice was made, therefore you owe. You owe for that sacrifice. How do I owe, Clarence? You are never supposed to negate that sacrifice. You're supposed to uplift it. If you go to our JEW friends, they don't negate nobody. They don't come out here and say, "Hey," you don't have one JEW person say, "Hey, I did this all on my own." They never do that. They are quick to thank the people that stepped in front of, that came before them, that sacrificed. Caucasians, they're very quick to thank the people that stepped in front of them and sacrificed. They build big monuments for them, right? They'll build monuments and statues and do art and everything to let you know this person made a sacrifice for us. What do we do as black men? We don't even, I mean, as a group, we don't even thank God. First of all, we don't even thank God. We don't thank God for all his everything he's done for us. Then we don't even thank the people that have done stuff for us that's around right now. And then we definitely don't thank the people in the past. We out here talking about if you ain't getting money, you just a sucker. You just a sucker. It's wrong. Charles Keys. Let me put the link out here for y'all, man. And we could discuss this. If y'all want to come up, we'll discuss it. I think we'll have a short show today, man. Brother C's got a cold, man. Not feeling too good. But I'm trying to push through it, y'all, so we can we can do what we do, right? Charles Keys says 16% of black men made the 75% of baby mamas. True. I would say that. I wouldn't say 16% of black men. I would say probably it's more like 30, 35, somewhere in there. What should the 51% of black men in the middle class with no babies do to help the baby mamas? What should they do? Volunteer their time to some type of organization, right? Volunteer their time to help. The lady I'm about to bring up now, she reads books to little kids, volunteering her time, right? I mean, we forgot, man. See, when you're trying to move a people, man, there's going to be some sacrifices that need to be made, man. But see, what a lot of our black men want to do is live off the accomplishments of other men. The other men got their societies and they got their women in a certain situation. Instead of us making that situation happen for ourselves, we just want to go hop on a plane and go to there, go where they've already done. They already did the work, so let's go over there. Instead of let's do our work ourselves and be rewarded our own, right? At least that's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. OG Patrice.
What's up, bro? How are you? Happy Sunday.
Hey, what's going on, sis? How you doing?
Doing good. I'm doing good. Happy Sunday to the chat. Interesting, interesting conversation here.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because I was recently on a program and I was offering solutions to certain situations, and they just wasn't having it. So I'm like, okay, how are we going to do any of these things and correct any of these issues if we don't have the right mindset? In my opinion, But let me ask you a question, sis. What do you think about? What do you think about what Barkley said about not being a role model? What do you think about that?
Well, we all know Barkley is a different kind of cat, right? A different kind of character.
Yep.
And I think he's speaking on an individual basis, and some other people may have that idea perception, especially when they reach a celebrity status. You know, I think it's a way of them, not wanting to take any onus or responsibility on their actions and how it can be portrayed out into the world, right? With people that's looking at them, people that's look up to them, people that respect them in the game that they do, whether it's sports, whether it's entertainment, music, arts, whatever. But it's unfortunate because, and I know, of course, we all know the first responsibility begins at home, right? With your
Right.
parents. We know that. That's, for the most part, that's a given. But there are cases and incidents where we know people out here in the world that are on a certain status are looked upon as people that other people have definitely said in speeches, in thoughts and actions that, certain people are role models to them. And it may be unbeknownst to the person that's of some type of celebrity status. And we cannot we cannot be unrealistic about the influences of others, right? When it comes to people that are in our lives close, whether it's family or friends, teachers, counselors, coaches, all of these people are in a certain mentorship type of um, status, with people that are under them that they are teaching or people that they are influencing. It even goes on these YouTube streets. YouTubers are influencers, and if we, whether we want to take the onus or responsibility of knowing that things that we say and how we act definitely influences other people. So when we see younger generations come behind us and they say things like, I really love Michael Jordan. I wanted to be just like him, and I wanted to be a famous basketball player, and I wanted to try to break his record or whatever, whoever it may be. I'm just using it as an example. Michael Jordan don't know the person per se, but he has to know that he has a certain position of status where he's influencing young boys that dream of becoming in the NBA, right? So to hear Barkley say these type of things, I understood his position where he's saying the parents first, but I think he was absolutely trying to take total onus off of him and responsibility of someone in the public eye that want to say, no, don't look at me. I'm not your role model. You shouldn't want to, be say that I'm your role model. So I understood it to a certain extent, but to a certain extent, I think he was trying to not take the onus on any influence that he may have on the younger generation, and he knows that is just absolutely impossible to next to impossible to not be or to happen, seeing that he had a successful career in the NBA for so many years. People pay attention to things you say, things you do, how you move in this world, especially when you are under the eye of the masses, whether it be in television or any kind of entertainment. So, but like I said, Barkley is a different kind of brother. And there are people like that out here that are like the Barkleys of the world, and it is what it is. I'm not saying he's wrong for what he said, but I'm just saying that I think that there is a certain amount of dishonesty where he don't want to be responsible for saying that there is some little boy somewhere that probably in the world that probably looked up to him and wanted to be in the NBA because of him. And he's saying to that child, no, don't look to me to be that person. You know what I mean? So it can be a bit contradictory in and of itself. But I think that when we don't, when we are supposed to be leaders in a community, or when we are reach a certain status because of what we do, and it's a light shined on us, especially in that industry or any type of arts or entertainment or sports industry. Um, we want the accolades when you're doing the good works, and the people say, "Oh, I look up to this person when they doing the good stuff," but when they doing the bad stuff, and they disappointing people, then they want to say, well, don't look to me to be the person, because I'm, and I get it. I'm human. I make mistakes. I get that part. We all are, but they're different from just your regular smegular everyday people that work regular jobs and live regular lives and things of that nature, when it's children that aspire to be like them. Now, when it comes to the regular smegulars, these are the people that out here are doing the work, boots on the ground, and their names are not out there in the masses because they're not on a celebrity status. right? But they are still influencing people, young boys and girls. They are still mentoring, they're still counseling, advising, they're still helping, they're still supporting, they're still out there, teaching and reaching, right? Because they in that position too. They just not, the light is just not shined on them the way it is celebrity people. But it's the same thing. So what happens when, one of us regular smuggler people go out there and we disappoint, a child, or something comes out about a behavior or thing, you can't say that person that looked up to them is not a bit disappointed. It's just unrealistic to, for me to say, if I'm out here doing a certain thing and then I disappoint someone, I have to take responsibility of that and say, yeah, that was me, that was my bad, and I own what I did or what I said or my actions, and that should not have been that way. I should have not have said or done that. But when you completely take yourself out of it, don't look to me, look to your parents. But I'm sitting here reading to a bunch of students and telling them about how, education and reading, can broaden their intelligence. And when it comes to the use of words and pronunciation and how reading is fundamental and things of that, like, and then I come and do some nefariousness, and then I use trying to say that I shouldn't take no onus on what I partake part in that was not right. No. So that's the part for me where I think Barkley was trying to paint that broad stroke that broad brush of, to say, when it comes to that, it should be your parents first, which I agree, but don't look to me. He don't want to, I think it was a certain part of his speech that his comments, that he didn't want to take any onus on it as being someone that's in a celebrity status.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with the fact that that he's shouldn't be the first person on the list where your children look, but I don't know about you. I've been out there. Um, I've seen really poor situations, and I've been in places where I've seen where um, out here in LA where people were just living crazy, and you just saying to yourself, man, how are they able to do that? How are they able to continue on living like this? And then I've seen places where I went and I could tell that no other man has been there in a long time, because when the little boys would come up to me, they would say, "Hey, what you doing with?" I said, "Well, I'm doing this work here." And they would say, "Oh, I want to do what you doing. I want to do it." You know what I mean? And they would just keep questioning me, and so happy to be around a man.
Yep.
That I felt compelled to be on my best behavior in front of them, to encourage them to try to reach to be that kind of person themselves. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So having had that experience, I know that there's children out there. And now it might be harder for a person like Barkley, because like you said so eloquently, that he's so far removed from actually talking to these people, that he may not understand the severity of that responsibility, right? But
right.
I was going in their homes. I was going, I was there. So
well, let's just be real too. Barkley, I think, is far removed from the Black community. Period. You know what I mean? And I understand that there are Black people that are well educated, well spoken, that have gotten to a certain status and plateau in their life, and they feel that they don't have to give back or be a mentorship, or embrace their Blackness the way some other Black people do. And cool, that's they little thing. They gotta, that's their little boat. They can push it or pull it however they want to do. But the part of it is when people get to that certain status, when they are black, I should say, or a person of color, and then they want to remove themselves so far from where they came from or their experiences, and allow themselves to acquiesce more into other races and communities. Doesn't make them a bad person, but it doesn't make them a person that needs to take ownership of it. To me, it sheds a light on a part of you that is actually trying to forget that, trying to, when you remove yourself so far removed from the black community, and you're a black person and you know about black experiences, especially if you were once poor or were lack of, and you grew up and you became famous and all these different things, and then now you totally remove yourself from anything black or blackness. I don't know, I side eye you, for that. And it's unfortunate that sometimes that happen with a lot of people in our community, and not just celebrities. It's people that are just successful on other ends of the spectrum when it comes to their careers, and they could be not a celebrity, but they can be very successful, and they will still remove themselves totally from the black community or black experiences, just because they have reached a certain plateau in their career, or now they got money and things of that nature. And to say things like, well, I got this all on my own, without giving any respect or onus to those that showed us that they so gently are laying on top of now, to say that they, and I'm not saying you didn't work hard to get what you got, but there are people that fought, that died, that had dogs sicked on a water hose, beaten, went to jail, lynched. There were people that were before you that took all of that for you to have and be where you are today. And when we as black people are in spaces and say, I did all this on my own. Yeah, we know you physically did it. You went out there and you worked hard to get it. But there are people that sacrificed before you, is the reason why you're able to do it now. Because there were certain doors that was just not open to you for you to do it. People paved roads, walked roads, marched roads, protest roads, right? It was people that spoke. It was people that sacrificed so much with their lives, i.e. Malcolm X, i.e. King, i.e., so many of our other black leaders that lost their lives. You know what I'm saying? So when you remove yourself so far from that, yeah, those are the people that I side eye, because it's like you're denying a part of who you are as a black person, and your history and things and people that paved the way for you. And I want to say this, because this has been, I don't know if, bro, Clarence, if you have been aware of this, but it went viral. And I want to say this as a person that grew up in the era of hip hop. And I want to say this specifically to the brother DJ Academics, right? Because I don't know if you know that he's spoken on calling a bunch of the old rappers and hip hoppers dusty, right? And it went viral, and now a lot of the old schoolers are coming out and speaking. LL Cool J spoke on it. MC Shan, Fat Joe, a lot of people, and it's funny because, like we were speaking, it's a lot of our own, a lot of times, that have this negative connotation and disdain for people that look like them, and they blatantly disrespect people that have paved the way. Brother DJ Academic, let me just tell you this, and I want you to clip this if you can, Brother Clarence. Okay. DJ Academic, you are a person of color, black man. Although you come from the islands, and I understand that it is people of your ilk that come over to America, and you have a different experience. You have not fully acquiesced into it because you don't know of it. You have an experience of where you were born over in the Caribbean islands. And then you come over here and you have an awkward time in America adjusting to the American way. But let me tell you something, sir. You have so been employed and gainfully become very successful and wealthy off of the backs of those very brothers and sisters that created a movement in hip hop that is unimaginable that you are now trying to demean and deprive them of by speaking the things that you said and calling them dusties. There are many black artists that were rappers in the hip hop rap game, from your MC Lights, and I'm gonna speak as a woman that grew up in this area. Your Queen Latifahs, your Salt and Peppers and Spinderellas, your Roxanne Shantays, your LL Cool J's, your MC Shans, your Melly Mel's, all the Funky Fresh, the Get Fresh crew, everybody that have paved the way for people like you to have a platform now to even talk about and interview some of the people that was able to maintain in that industry and the wealth. That was a whole movement, my brother, created off of something that we never had, something that no one ever believed in, from the record labels. There were no, and L's right. They didn't have managers and accountants and things. And the record labels and the executives didn't even believe in the hip hop movement. But now this is a whole movement that everybody has been able to bite off of. Everybody have been able to live for the most part and have great income off of, including yourself, brother academics. So for you to say that these people that came before the ones that are out here now, the newer generation in rap, for you to say that they are dusties just shows how you think of yourself, how you devalue yourself as a black man in America. But you were a Caribbean that came over here to America and gained much wealth and the platform you have because and off of the backs of the very people you are now speaking on. And because all of them didn't become wealthy and the millionaires that some of the rappers are now does not negate nor does it devalue them as being the backbone of a movement. That everybody is biting off of and eating off of, including yourself, DJ Academic. What you said was blatantly disrespectful, and you owe them an apology, my brother. You really do. Because it's funny that people that look like us, that may come from a different background or experience, but have gotten wealthy. And I hear you wealthy, brother. I hear your platform has become very wealthy off of the very people you're speaking of now. So how dare you? How dare you be so blatant disrespectful? And that's the problem with a lot, not all, but some of the younger generation that sit and want to say that they don't owe anything back to those that took the brunt, took the beatings, took everything and sacrificed for us to have what we have now. I just want to say that to your brother DJ Academics, check yourself before you wreck yourself. And I digress.
Well said. Well said. Well said. Yeah, but see, that's the whole point. It's like you disrespecting the people that came before you, but you wouldn't have your platform if it wasn't for those people that came before you. That to me don't make no sense.
That right? Part.
That doesn't make no sense. And I'm gonna get to your comment right here, brother Charles Keys. He says black women don't want the nerds, the lames, no game, or short men, but black women want us to come back and teach their children. Okay, brother, let's deal with this for just a minute. Black women don't want nerds. At a certain point in their development, they don't, right? They're looking for
I beg to differ. That's all I was attracted to was nerdy type guys, even to this day. So I don't
Patrice,
know. Maybe I'm an outliner, but I beg to differ on that
you are
statement.
you are definitely an outlier. But I want you to tell your position. But let me outline the my opinion, and then I want you to come in and drop your information too, Patrice. Okay, so Brother Keys, black women don't want nerds. You know, they typically, until they get to a certain point where they get tired of dealing with certain type of guys, they don't want lames. I agree. The younger they are, rather, this is more common in younger women, right? That's what we talk about, Brother Keys, right? No game, no short men. I give you that. But black women want us, meaning black men, to come back and teach their children. Okay, but that's the perspective that is getting us caught up, right? We're getting caught up on a perspective that you're doing something for black women in particular. And it's not so much that you're doing something for black women in particular, even though you are technically, but moreover, you're doing something for your own society. As black people, you're doing something for your own society to help move the ball forward. Nobody's saying you gotta, if you're not ready to be a stepdad, nobody's telling you to go be a stepdad. If you're not ready to teach, nobody's telling you. But the least you could do is represent, so that when one of these young black dudes do see you out in the street, they will be like, man, that's a solid cat. I want to be solid like that one day, right? How you gonna know what solid looks like if you haven't seen it, right? So we got to be solid men for us, for our children to see what solid men look like, right? I got a granddaughter, man, and I want her to, if she ever looks for a husband, I want her to know what a solid man looks like. So I'm always trying to be a solid cat, so she can say, yeah, I know what solid looks like. You ain't it. So let me pass you by, right? Now, with that being said, that's how I feel. I feel like, basically, because I've been in this situation or a dating situation, and I can see what the brother's saying. However, it's not about, well, I'm going to reward black women. It's not about that, and I know that's what a lot of you guys have in your head is like, I don't want to reward black women for this or that or whatever their behavior, right? But it's more than that. It's more than that, and also, who do you think black women are being with having all of these babies? They ain't just falling. These babies ain't just coming out of nowhere, right? So we got to clean that up as well, right? We got to clean that up as well. But anyway, that's my opinion. I'm gonna have my beautiful sister right here tell you her opinion on it. Patrice, straighten us out. Tell us what's your opinion on this situation.
Yeah, I don't know how old Brother Charles is, but I do know, um, you know, yes, there is some women, some black women out there that do have that mindset of what his comment is about. But I think it goes back to that, we should raise our children, especially, women and men, if you have a two-parent household, even if you're in a single household, you know, the young women need to be raised to not just have a one-track mind um, when it comes to the opposite sex and what they should look for. I think it should be a principle and a value and a morals based off of a person's character, not the fact that, you know, if he don't look fly and don't have any swag or anything, that he's irrelevant. If he is the nerdy type of guy that's very smart and intelligent, can hold an intellectual stimulating conversation, and grows up and ends up being that neurosurgeon, or that engineer, or that doctor, that might be not the guy for you because of the way he looks, or he's short, or he's a nerd, or he's this. Yeah, I think that mindset definitely needs not to be taught in our community and in our culture, and especially in our families when you're raising your children. Because, like I said, I always, and I will say that I was guilty of that once upon a time, right? Because I was popular in high school. I was on pom poms, and I had a mindset when you're young that, yeah, it was a certain type of guy that I liked, and I totally always knew in my heart of hearts that I was attracted to nerdy guys. I knew that. I liked smart guys, and they call that person that like in highly intelligent people uh uh sapiosexuals. That's a person that's attracted to highly intelligent people. So I knew even way back then, but I allowed myself to be influenced by popularity, and I should like the sports jock, and I should like this type of guy or that type of guy, when I knew in my heart of hearts that I like nerdy type of guys. And so once I became more self assured and aware within myself, I said, you know what? I'm going to date the guys that I'm attracted to instead of the guys that what society think I should be attracted to. And I think that that's what we need to instill and teach our children. And I know that peer pressure and things when they're in school, influences and all of that, the girls, a lot of the women and the girls, young ladies say, well, he got to have swag, he got to have this, he got to have that. And sometimes, yeah, you overlooking the nerdy guy that's gonna grow up to be that neuroscientist, right? And then you be like, damn, I missed out. I have had those moments. And so yeah, when you come to a certain maturity and realize that you need to actually date the person that you're attracted to, no matter who they are, how tall or short or whatever, and the character of the person, not just so much
Yes,
about what society is saying
man.
that you need a brother with swag and he got to, have this, he got to have some flavor, he got to da da da. He talked that slang, that ebonics, and that street. Like, no, I love a man that is intelligent. I love a man that can hold a conversation about anything, no matter what type of room setting he's in. And I knew that I always did, but I had to get it for myself. And I think that this is what a lot of young ladies are going to come to realize at some point in their life, hopefully, or they'll just continue in the foolishness of continuing to pick the wrong men, right? You
Right.
picking it. If you haven't graduated and elevated your mindset and maturity to a level of, okay, all these guys I've been picking is totally not for me. I need to do something different. You know what I mean? So
I
yeah.
hear you. I hear you. I hear you. All right, Patrice, hold on one second. Let me get to Brother Keys. There's another comment I want to get to. Brian, what you know about Sister Soldier, man? What you know about Sister Soldier?
Man, I left her out. The pioneer, one of the greatest pioneers, Sister Soldier. Yes.
Man, Patrice, did Bill Clinton do a job on Sister Soldier? Oh my God, man.
Man,
Teach him right.
not only Bill Clinton, but a bunch of black men.
That bunch of black leadership
Bunch
did
of
that.
black men that was up there on panels arguing that sister down. So yeah,
Um,
when we talk about our own, yeah, our own sometimes could be our own worst enemy.
see,
Absolutely.
this is where I want to get to, because a lot of us we are talk about how bad the situation is, and then when it's time to get up and go do something, we won't we just sit back in our chair and not do nothing, and then complain about it. And to me, nobody else does that. Everybody else gets out there and moves out. And I'm specifically talking about black men, man. We just don't. We just we just complain about it so much, and then we don't do anything, and then we just do stupid stuff like, hey, I want you to submit to me. Why would I submit to you? You are, you know what I'm saying? You're not doing anything. You're not making nothing happen. Why should I submit to you? You know what I mean? But men don't think that way, right? A lot of guys don't think that way. They think, oh well, you should just submit to me because I was born with a phallus, right? No, no, doesn't work that way. Most women are not going to do that and say, You know, yeah. Oh, that's another one, Sister Annie. Donahue was another one that took, you know, that was like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely, Sister Annie.
But Donahue went after a lot of different people. Dr. Khaled, Minister Farrakhan. He went after a lot of
Mm-hmm.
different people.
He
All
sure
right,
did.
and Jesse Jackson even. All right, so we're gonna let me pull up this one too. Brother Charles says the black lady on the View said all good men are in jail. Okay, that's a good question. Patrice, you're a sister out there, and do you think that all the good men are in jail? Do you agree
Heck
with that
no.
statement?
Who said that? Heck no.
I guess they're talking about what's the View with the one with Whoopi Goldberg and all them on there?
Yeah, that's the View we're
Okay,
whooping
so
in.
he's probably talking about Whoopi.
All good men are in jail. Oh no. No.
Right.
That's not true. Because it's some nefarious men that are in jail that need to be exactly where they are. So no.
Yes, definitely. Well, here's my take on that, Brother Keys. I feel like there's a lot there are some good dudes there, right? There are some good dudes there.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
made a
they
mistake,
definitely
right?
are some. Yeah.
Right. Captain made a mistake, man. You know, in the heat of passion or whatever, or the heat of the moment, made a bad decision, and you know, otherwise, blemishless record, right? But you
But
know,
that's
got
the
caught up.
thing when you use that word all, that's when it becomes problematic.
Yeah,
So even you hear us on these platforms now, we have to specifically say some, not all. We always have to address that and say some, not because when you use the word all, then you putting all men in a particular category or group or women or whoever. But yeah, all is definitely not the case.
no. So there are some guys that's there, right? That made a mistake, but there's a lot of good guys that's out. See, but a lot of people don't know where to find good men, right? Because they're so used to finding them in different like nefarious places like the club or the bar, stuff like that. A lot of times, guys that are you might find good guys there, but they're not going there for good reasons. They're going there to try to find somebody to have casual sex with. That's their chief reason for going there, right? And uh, so when you roll up on somebody in those spaces, even though it might be a good dude, because of the environment, he's not looking for a wife. He's looking for just this. So you got to be in a position where, in my opinion, if you're looking for a husband, you got to put yourself in places where people are thinking about being a husband in their mentality, right? Their mentality is like that. And so guys are everywhere, right? And so a lot of good dudes, right? You want to find good dudes? Go to any union facility. Go to any union hall in any state, any city. You'll find a bunch of dudes there, single, and they want to do, or military guys. You know what I mean? So, a lot of them want to do good, but
Yeah,
they
but
just have.
I will say too, bro, Clarence, it's some good dudes that go out and be at clubs and lounges. I met my ex-husband at a club back in the day. And my ex-husband is a damn good man. Damn
Yeah,
good black man. And I met him at a club. So, I know a lot of standards and things have changed over, the
yeah,
decades and things of that way. But honestly, you used to could go out and have a drink with your
anywhere,
girlfriends, and this is me back in the day, and meet a good guy that can become
right?
your husband. So I know it's a lot different from when I was younger and stuff, but I want to throw that out there that it's some good men all over. I think timing and where you are in life and the spaces that you're in have a lot to do with the people and that you come to meet and paths you cross with the opposite sex.
Okay, y'all. So Patrice is saying you want to find a good dude, go to the bars and the clubs, and there's gonna be dudes all over the place, man. You can just be like, pick them off a tree.
Now you see how my brother just spit that narrative. You sound like some other people. You sound like some other people I know. You just totally spit that narrative of what I said.
No, y'all. We just saying that you might get lucky and find somebody anywhere. The thing you should be looking for is the character of the person. Am I right, Patrice? Is that
Absolutely.
okay?
Absolutely. The character of the man, the morals, his values, how he was raised, how he treat women, other women in his life. See, I pay attention to how men treat their mothers, their sisters, their daughters. I pay attention to that. That speaks volumes for me, because if they're treating the main women in their lives right, 9 times out of 10, and I'll say 9 times out of 10, because I know there's some outliners, right? That they will treat the woman in their life right.
Yeah, and careful how a guy treats his sisters. Careful how a guy treats his mom. Those are some tall tales.
His daughter.
Yeah, I mean his daughter.
Yep.
I mean because see, the problem is a lot of times people be on when you first meet them, everybody's on good behavior, right? Everybody's on good behavior.
Yeah, as my sister say, they showing you their representative.
Right, and so you fall in love with that person, but that's not the real person. Right? So that the real person is the one that's behind the scenes operating everything, right? And before you finally meet that person, you're like, who are you, right? I thought I was dealing with somebody else, and so that's why it's, in my opinion, the character is so important, man. The character is so important. I mean, character is even important if you're doing business with somebody. This character is just important, period, in relationships, period, right? And so you got to pick people, and and so I'm saying, Patrice got lucky enough to meet her ex-husband. He's a good dude, but I say try as much as you can. That may happen to you going out, hanging out, but try as much as you can to try to be places where you got guys that's trying to actually have on their mind, being husbands and stuff like that on their mind. You know what I mean? That, in my opinion, is put hedging the bets. I'm not saying that you can't find a husband anywhere. You can find somebody anywhere, right? And it might just be like, for example, I go out to the Korean Belt and I run into Pastor Calvin, right? Who knows? He's all the way out here from Louisiana, and I run into him, right? That's just dumb luck. We just ran into
Yeah,
each other.
that was dope. That was epic too. Like, I can't wait for that interview, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We're working on it. But my point is, we two good guys ran into each other, right? And so we just happened to run into each other. He started a conversation with me. I started a conversation with him, and we just started talking. Next thing you know, we hit it off, right? That could happen, because I wasn't going up there looking for something like that, but that could happen. But because he had a certain type of character that attracted me, I had a certain type of character that attracted him. We was able to get along. So always look into the character. Always look into the character. I got something to tell y'all about the good pastor, man. Once I do that interview, I'll smoke it out of him.
Awesome.
Okay, let me go down. Let me do some shout outs real quick, sis. All right, Brother Sim, shout out to you, Brother Sim. Said YouTube didn't give me no notifications of the show. You know what, bro? I'm gonna tell you what they're doing now, man. I don't know why they're doing it, but this is what they're doing now. Before, we used to come up in the algorithm every time, right? So let's say you go to YouTube and you start looking for shows to watch, right? What would happen is we would come up every time. Now sometimes we'll have a show and they'll just pull us off, so you can't even look for us if you hit the YouTube bar just to try to see who's out there. You can't even find us anymore. Today we're out there, so that's a good thing. But I'm just saying sometimes we're not out there, so you gotta hit that notification and gotta keep up with us, man. Today we lucky Patrice is not on. If Patrice was on today, I'd be rushing everybody, right? But today Patrice is not on. Well, let me double check with you. Patrice, are you on today? Over Knowledge Relationships?
No, I'm not on today. Next week, I'm on Bird Clans. But thank you, I appreciate that. But Sim is right because I didn't get a notification. I just happened to be scrolling looking for something else and saw that
Oh,
you was live, so I didn't get
okay.
one either. So he's
Okay. You
correct.
guys click the notification bell?
Yeah, and I clicked the all to make sure that I get all notification of videos, everything that I get your pop-ups, but I didn't get this notification that you were live today. I literally was scrolling for something else and saw that you were live. I was like, oh, snap. Okay.
I'm gonna have to do something about that. I'm gonna have to do something about that. You know, at this point in the game, it's difficult to fight with YouTube about that, but it is what it is. But I got to figure out a way around that because they used to, let people know, and then now they don't. Oh my gosh, look at this lady. Risa Neal is back in the house. Where you been, sister? Hope everything's okay.
Sister
Hope y'all
Risa, we miss you. How are you, sis?
been missing you, girl. Glad to have you, man. As Reese said, I didn't get one either. Yeah, they've been doing this to me for about a month or so, right? Where they just won't send out nothing, and I don't know why. I don't know what I did. I don't know what it was. They haven't tell. Usually when you go into your dashboard, they'll tell you when you made somebody when you violated, right? You got to do this. This person has a claim against you or whatever. I have nothing. I have nothing. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, that's YouTube. Oh, Risa, I had a couple deaths in the family. Oh my gosh, man. Sorry to hear about that, Risa. Sorry.
Oh, wow. So sorry to hear that, Sister Risa. We're going to lift you and keep you and your family in
Yeah.
prayers.
I'll pray for you. Pray for your
Really
family.
sorry. You have my sincere condolences.
Pray for your family. But yeah, shout out to you, Risa. Glad to have you back in the building, girl. All right. All right, we got to do something about that, y'all. We're gonna figure that one out. We're gonna figure that one out. All right, y'all. We talked to y'all about black men and what they need to do now. In my opinion, black men, what we need to do is we need to have a what do you call that? Across the board code of conduct. Hold on, Patrice, because this brother Keys is asking me some good questions. Hold on. Brother Keys says, good show. So how can the nerds become sexy like Pookie? See, this is the thing.
See, that's the thing. No, let me answer that as a woman.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Don't try to. Don't
Agreed.
try to. Be yourself. Because if you try to be something you're not, you're going to attract the wrong women. Be yourself, because you know what? Being a nerd in and of itself is sexy as hell. Just let me tell you that. And Charles, I don't know your age or whatever. And if you're speaking on you yourself and other nerds of the world, the people like, listen, don't try to be nothing other than who you are. Because nerds are sexy too.
Patrice, you crazy.
Hey, they are.
You crazy, Patrice. Nerds. The sisterhood does not like nerds.
You need to start a T-shirt. Nerds are sexy too. Put it on a T-shirt. I'll buy it.
We got a couple of different T-shirts coming. The strong performance T-shirts. Definitely have it. I want to have that when we have another backpack.
Okay, that's gonna be dope. Yes, let me know because I'm in, bro.
Yeah, for sure. But here's the reality. Excuse me, y'all. Here's the reality. Unfortunately, a lot of men have felt the heat of that rejection, Patrice, from being a nerd, right? Including yours truly, right? Being a nerd. Well, I think I always had. I was a nerd in the classroom, but I was not very popular, but I was popular because I played athletics, so I was never like shunned or anything like that until I think I got into my 12th grade year, and I was about to graduate, and some of my friends weren't about to graduate, and that's when they started looking back down on me like, look at you. You think you're somebody because you're gonna graduate. I'm like, ain't that what we're here for? That's what we're supposed to be doing is graduating, right?
Right. Exactly.
Right. But I never took it personal, man. I just said, okay, hey, man, you got the choice to do what you want to do. Now, where I came up, being a nerd, or not being in the in crowd, rather, when it came to the vices out there, that definitely held me back from the more quote unquote, like it looked like, and you're right, Patrice, because I didn't even think about it until you just said that just now. I was interested in the wrong type of women because that what was like around the school. We was given a box. Like I keep talking about these boxes. We was given a box. These are the good looking women in this box. So if you pick a woman, you want to go with one of these women in this box. And this is how she act. This is how she talk. This is how she walk. And everything is out of a box that they gave us. And because I thought outside of that box, you know what I mean? I spent a lot of nights, by myself, but it was cool. But my point is that a lot of men think like a lot of men have that issue, especially men that are, pursuing their studies, right? Ain't nobody crazy like you out there, girl. That's like, hey, I love smart men. That's like they're the minority. Would you agree with that, Patrice?
Yeah, I would agree with that. And and this is the thing, because even the nerdy guys liked the hot girls.
Right.
Just like the hot boys like the hot girls, right?
Right.
That's
Right.
just human nature as opposite sex.
Yeah.
So it wasn't nothing wrong with you liking who you like, but the thing was is that those type of girls didn't like those type of guys.
Right.
They didn't like the nerdy guys. They wanted the hunks, so to speak, right? So
Right.
therefore you had to realize that that was not the person for you. Not that hot girl. Not to say that you couldn't get a hot girl, because it's not impossible. I've seen that happen too, where, a nerd will get a hot girl, but it's rare.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about like in the like high school
Yeah.
situation. I mean, after you
Yeah. Oh,
graduate,
yeah.
everything's pretty much open after you graduate high school. But I mean, when in high school, really, that's really when, and so a lot of guys get their first what's
Hmm.
it called? Their first taste of disappointment or their first taste of
They
rejection.
heartbreak and rejection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in high school because you like, man, this girl look good. I don't see nobody else around. She must be, she must be available. And then you
But the
find out,
nerd guy would have a crush on the hot girl, whether she was a
yeah,
cheerleader or she was
yeah,
popular for whatever reason in high school, and she wouldn't even give that guy a second thought, right?
right,
Because 9 times out of 10 she was with the hot boy, the sports jock,
right,
the most
right,
popular boy in high school, or all of that. So even if the nerdy guy got up the nerve to ask her out, she would literally probably laugh in his face. You know what I
right,
mean? And say something, you know, very, very awkward and wrong and disrespectful to him. Like, what makes you think I go out with you or whatever?
right.
I've had friends that did that before.
Yeah,
When I was in high school. When you're popular, yeah, the popular want to be with the popular, not the unpopular. And it was unfortunate that a lot of the nerdy guys suffered through that, and as is the nerdy girls, because there were some nerdy girls that wanted the hot sports jock, and it works the same way. Them
yeah,
guys
but I
wasn't
mean,
looking at those girls twice. or they
Well,
will sneak in. They will sneak in and sleep with them, and then they'll tell all their
that's
friends and
it.
stuff and
That's
embarrass
it.
the girl. Like that's the stuff the guys was doing when I was in high school. It was
That's
crazy. So yeah.
that's it. That's it. But I agree with Patrice, man. You don't want to become a Pookie, man. You know, when I was out there, man, and I was, you know, at the nerd, and you know, I was being made fun of. I said, okay, well, you know, that's it. That's how it is. And then, but as I grew into a man, I realized that it's probably better to just be yourself. You know what I mean? Because that way you got to run around playing no games with nobody and nothing like that. I never have been one of those type of dudes that want to play a whole bunch of games, and I never was that kind of guy. And so, you know, if you just be yourself, you don't have to do all that. You know, and you
Yeah.
know, you don't want to be sexy like Pookie. You want to be sexy like you. You know what I mean?
Yes, just be yourself. Being a nerd is sexy in itself to me. Like I remember um the young man that was in my, I want to say he was in my math class in high school, and he sat in front of me, and he was the nerdy guy. And back then they teased him, called him Point Dexter. You know, they would call the nerdy guys Point Dexter, and
Yeah.
you know, he may have had the thick glasses on, or the glasses with the thick rims or whatever. Or he just may just not been a guy that was well dressed, had swag, but he spoke very eloquently. He spoke very intelligent. He would
Right.
use words you would have to ask, what do that mean? You know, and things like that, even in high school. And years later, I saw his sister, and his sister, she was popular because we were on pom poms together in high school, and she told me, she said, you know, my brother always had a crush on you. And I said, what? She was like, my brother. I said, who's your brother? She told me who her brother was. And I never knew that. I never knew that that was her brother because they never was together. They never like hung out. I never knew because she was popular and he was a nerd. They were
Right.
totally opposite. So she didn't even hang with her own brother. But she would
Wow.
say he would come home, he would have your picture, he would this and that. He really liked you. And I said, that was your brother? And she said, "Yeah, that's my brother." And we were all grown and adults and everything. And I said, "Well, hell, where is he now?" I said, "I remember your brother. He was like the smart guy. Was like, where is he now? What is he doing? Like, I thought he was so cute. He was so nerdy. I just thought he was cute." I said, and I never said anything to him because I was popular and I was going with that, acquiescing into that whole nonsense of you need to be with this type of guy or that type of guy. And she said to me, her brother passed away. And I
Oh,
was like, oh my God. Oh my God. I said, I'm so sorry to hear that. And I said, I didn't know. I didn't know that he liked me in high school. I said, because I secretly liked him. It was just
oh my
crazy.
God.
Yeah. So I would say to the nerds of the world, do not change who you are for nobody because the right girl, you know, you will choose the right girl and the right girl will choose you. And I never forgot that. I never forgot that. So no, nerdy guys of the world, don't try to be something you're not, or sexy or a hunk, or try to have swag. Just be you.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the problem. That's the problem with with even nerdy guys want to be liked, right? They want to be accepted. They want to be taken in, right? I remember I had a clique that I used to run with. All of us were nerds, man. We were just on. We was just man. I can skip it. And so anyway, that was a clique I used to run with in about middle school. And so if you check where all those guys are, one is a police officer um, out there in San Jose, not San Jose, but Frisco. He's out there in Frisco. He's a police officer. Another one is like he has $1 million business. I mean, you know, just these guys just turned out to do a whole bunch of different stuff. But I remember one of the guys that I used to hang with. was really the guy that's a cop now out there in Frisco. And so anyway, he was good dude, man. He was a good dude, but it was a local bully that used to try to bully us, right? And so some of us would go for it, some of us wouldn't. So I was one of the ones that wouldn't go for it, man. But I was just like I couldn't get everybody else to feel the same way. You know what I mean? And so they would try to, when they saw us together, they would try to come around us and get and try to bully us, right? And so anyway, the guy that's a cop now, what he would do was he would be the most afraid, and so they would see that and they would get him the most, right? And so, and especially this one bully, I mean, he used to just pick on this dude and pick on this dude and pick on this dude, right? And so we used to tell him, man, hey man, you gotta stand up to the dude, you gotta. And he would just be like, man, I don't know, I can't do it. I just get so caught up in fear, right? So anyway, fast forward, this is probably elementary, right? Elementary going into junior high, right? So we go into junior high, and I guess this guy has an epiphany, and he says, "Hey, man, nah. Oh no. Here's what happened. He decided he was gonna run track. He was pretty fast as a runner, I guess, running from all these different dudes. He was pretty fast, so they got him to start running track, right? And so they start working with him with the weights. And they said, hey, you got to lift weights to get bigger. So what he did was he started lifting weights. So by the time we got to the 9th grade, dude was huge, right? Dude was huge. And so so the bully, now he was picking on the bully at this point, right? He was picking on the bully, man. And I mean, he was telling me about, man, he said, I caught him one day, man. I caught him. He said, man, and I just whooped on him, man. I whooped on his sister, had to come and save him because I was just whooping on him for all them years all that trauma he put on me, man. It was like, pow, 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 pow.
Yeah, payback as a mother.
Yeah, payback is a monster, man. But shout out to that brother, man. He's a cop out there in Frisco, and the whole little crew, man. But yeah, man. I say stay, stay a nerd. Stay a nerd. Nerds run the world. There was an old movie, Patrice, called Revenge of the Nerds. You ever seen that movie?
I remember that movie.
Okay, so eventually nerds get their revenge, right? So you just gotta just stay on point. And now here's the bad part about being a nerd, Patrice. You ready for the bad part about being a nerd?
What's the bad part?
The bad part is you're gonna miss out on a lot of female attention. You're gonna miss out on a lot. But if you can handle that, you'll be okay. If you can handle that, you'll be okay. See, that's the thing. Well, like people can't handle that not being noticed or being rejected or whatever, right? So that's the part that is hard to deal with. But if you can handle that, you weather that storm. You get to a certain point, and then now you start getting more desirable, right? Because everybody starts filling out.
The nerds become more desirable to beautiful women and popular women once they are successful.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of times it happens that way. When they're, like I said, once they're that neuroscientist or that neurosurgeon, or they've invented something now, and they're wealthy, or they got a good high 6-figure paying job. Now they're looked at by the beautiful woman, the sex symbol women, because they looking at what? The money too. They looking at, oh, now he's a neurosurgeon, he's a neuroscientist. Oh my God, he's a software engineer, or I mean.
And you got.
Oh my God, he invented this or that.
You got some new confidence. I mean, you get confidence as you get older. You get confidence in yourself, and and then so that becomes, I think, attractive too as well. Patrice, let me go through some of these chats real quick. Risa said, I think that staying inside has done all of us bad. We got to get back out there. go to a blues show, the VFW bingo. The VFW bingo? Risa, holy smokes.
No, she did say the VFW
The
bingo. Go ahead,
VFW
Sister
bingo.
Risa.
Shout out to Risa. Sister Annie said, when I get married, y'all can just call me Nerd Queen because my husband will be a nerd. Shout out to
There
you,
you
Sister
go.
Annie. You
That's
smart.
right, Sister
You
Eddie.
smart. You know, I remember when my wife kind of, I was so shocked when my wife told me that she was interested in me, right? And I was like, "Are you talking about me?" She's like, "Yeah, you." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "But I'm not one of these cool guys. I'm not, you know." She was like, "You are cool to me. You cool to me.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you are the way you are, that's cool to me." And then we started dating. And of course, the rest is history. But she was like, I'm interested in you, man. What I got to do to be on the what do I have to do to be on the program? Get with the program. I was like, what program? I ain't got no program. She's like, what do I got to do to get with the program? You the man. You the man of the hour. I said. And so Patrice, I was so out of my element because nobody had never stepped to me before, right? So I was like,
Right.
what's going on, right? And so she was like, yeah, I mean, well, I had women step to me. I didn't take that back. I hadn't had nobody step to me like with a full court press, right? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's the difference when somebody steps. Oh, I'm interested in you, right? I'll
Mm-hmm.
call you, right? But then when somebody put a full court press on you, hey man, what's your favorite meal? I'll be back with it, no problem. You want some lunch? I'm there, right? You know what I mean? I mean a full court press.
Mm-hmm.
So but it all worked out. But yeah, man, shout out to you, Sister Annie. Stay with the nerd isms. You know what I mean? Because man, I think if anybody's a nerd, one of the things that most nerds have is the ability to self-reflect and say, maybe I was wrong. And that's what you need in a relationship with people, man. You need a person to be able to say, maybe it was me that overstepped that situation this time. And then you could go back and reflect on that. But shout out to you, Sister Annie. We're gonna be looking for those wedding invitations. Risa said I'll be a guest if you don't mind. I like a trip to see new things. Oh man, OG Retreat, don't start me crying again. I still believe in love. We do too. We do too. We still believe in love. Still believe
Oh,
in love.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
man. It's out there. See, now here's the thing, Patrice. Love is out there, but how do you get love? How do you find love? And do you find it or do you develop it? See, like in my position, I feel like it's not that you find love, it's that you um, find the what do you call that? The seeds of love. And then you're able to water those seeds and grow it into love. Because it's hard to love somebody that you don't know and you just met, might love their physical appearance or their countenance, right? But to say I really love this person, in my opinion, that takes time to develop. What do you say about that, Patrice?
I agree. I'm not one to like believe in like love at first sight. I believe in you can be attracted to someone, at first sight. You can like someone, at first sight just based off physical appearance. But yeah, love is definitely something that grows over a period of time for a person. When you start dating a person and you getting to know them, and you all are discovering each other, your likes and dislikes, your do's, your don'ts, and you're saying to yourself, okay, I can agree with this. I like the flow of this. I like where this is going. I like this person, their morals, their integrity, their standards, their values. I like, their upbringing. I like, I see them in the light with their mother and with their siblings and with their child if they have children or whatever. And I like the way they flow. I like how they talk. I like their personality. All of that makes you more attracted to the person, right? So yeah, I agree. It's something that happens over time. with being with someone. For sure.
Absolutely. Well, now this is something. Since you're bringing it up, Mr. Keys, we're gonna talk about it. He says, as you can see from my picture, us nerds have passports now. But what I'm telling you, brother, is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you have a passport. The question is, are you the type of guy that is husband worthy, right? That's what, because let's say you say, okay, well, I don't want to deal with women in America. I'm going to get on a plane and go someplace else because I got a passport. But you still have issues that needed to be dealt with here. And you're just taking them over there. And your bet is, you're betting on the fact that their financial situation is so bad that that's going to keep her in check and not have her ask questions about your behavior. And to me, it would be better for you to get your um, spiritual and mental and life together, and then get on a plane and go there. That way, you're not taking no baggage when you do go out of the country. You're not taking no baggage out there with you. But if you just leave and say, "Well, I'm just going to leave here. I'm having so many problems here." Maybe it's you. Maybe you're the problem when you're having all these problems with women here in America, and maybe you have part of it. I'm not saying you're the whole problem, but maybe you are part of the problem too, that should be explored before you say, I'm going to go. A lot of these guys I'm hearing now, they're getting caught up out there in Thailand. They're getting caught up out there in the Philippines. Why? Because they're the same fool they were here, but they were betting on the financial depravity of the woman that they're getting involved with, so that woman would not question their disrespect, right? And that's not gonna work. I mean, women are women. I don't care where you go. The women are women, and no woman is gonna want to be disrespected, especially over a long period of time. They're just not gonna want that, right? Oh, I'm with an American. He disrespects me all the time, but he's American. I don't care. I don't. Any woman at certain points going to be like, well, that's not what I want. Do you agree with that, Patrice? Or what's your view on that?
Yeah, I agree with that, but I would also say to Brother Charles, good for you if you got a passport. But guess what? You could go anywhere in the world and still choose the wrong woman.
There you go. That's my point.
Anywhere. So, it's a vetting process. It's a process of self-awareness. No matter where you are in the world, there you are. You ever heard that saying? No matter where you try to run and hide, there you are.
Yep.
So you can pick the wrong woman here in America, and you can go way across to Timbuktu and still pick the wrong woman. Everywhere you go, there you are.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's unfortunate. But shout out to JP, the aspiring matriarch. Glad to have you in the building, sis. My spirit is great. My spirit is great. Hope yours is as well, man.
Hey, Sister JP, how's your spirit? Mine's is absolutely marvelous.
Yeah, man. Spirit is good. Spirit is good. Yeah, so to all the nerds, man, don't think just because you got a passport, your problems are solved. I know that's what a lot of these guys on these channels are telling you, that your problems are solved. All you gotta do is get a passport. Since you can't force a woman to deal with your disrespect here, get a passport and force women that are in financial straits to deal with your disrespect. You got to deal with the fact that you want somebody to deal with disrespect. That needs to be cleared up first. I'm not saying that every guy with a passport thinks that way, but I'm saying if you think that way, and not say, hey, maybe let me make sure before I get on this plane that I'm not taking any issues that I have over here, because I don't care where you go, a woman will eventually confront you based on how you treat her, right? Even a woman that's in a third world country, right? At some point. Anyway, moving on. Let me look through the chat. See. Rita says, well, I'm older, the young kids in the nightclub, so it's not many places to go. Yeah, it's not many places to go, but it actually it is, Rita. You know, if you look in they have a, what did they used to have? They used to have, in the paper, they have the art section, or they have the Patrice, what section of the newspaper was it where they have like different events and stuff? You
It's
remember what I'm talking
called,
about?
yeah, it's called What's Happening, like what's happening in your city or your,
Yeah, man, but it
where
was
you
a certain
live.
name.
Yeah, it's
It was
like a what is it? It's like you saying, it's current events or current
yeah,
happenings in your
current happening.
area.
Yeah, that must be what
Like
it was.
like a lot of people don't know places like festivals, different type of festivals, art festivals,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
museum, uh, any type of museum events, any type of cultural events,
yeah,
different types of functions and galas in your city. You need to look them up, and they even have it like online. All you got to do is Google local events in your area, something
yeah,
like that, and a bunch of stuff will come up.
yeah,
Sometimes you have to do things outside the box, like what you normally wouldn't do, where especially for women, like, because right, we know that as women there's more of us than it is of men. Women need to look up the places where predominantly they know more men are going to be at, more events that men are going to be at, more galas, more festival type of things, more entertainment, artsy type of things that they know men will definitely be involved in. And they need to start, as single women, going to those type of events. Like men, they into golf. They have golf galas.
I was just about to say that.
They
I
they
was
they have
just about to say
yeah
that.
they have medical conventions and different conventions and events that predominantly is male dominated. These are places women need to be showing up at to meet these type of men that like these type of things. Yeah.
See, now you want to meet a man? I'm gonna tell you right now. You want to meet a man? Clarence, you're in a woman. You don't know. I'm gonna tell you where you meet a man because I've been to so many golf courses. I could tell when a woman is actually there to just learn how to golf, and then when a woman is there to actually meet men. Whenever a woman's there to actually meet men, all she got to do is wear something really pink, so she just stands out like a sore thumb out there. And all you got to do is uh, they have a line and they have a putting green and everybody's putting
Mm-hmm.
line. All you gotta do is stand in that line, get some balls, and then hit a couple balls and then say, hey, I'm if gentlemen made it to the left or to the right, you can just say,
Well,
I'm
I'll
trying to.
say this. Let me just interject right quick. Golf is the perfect golfing event is the perfect one, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
I'm getting involved, and I'm gonna speak on it soon, but I'm gonna speak a little bit on it now because it's coming up in November. The
Okay.
NFL player AC Caswell. I'll be working with him on his gala that he's throwing here in Arizona in November.
Okay.
It is a whole weekend of different events and galas, and it's going to be men from the NFL, the NBA, all type of sport arenas that love to play golf, that love to play polo, and all of that. He's throwing this whole weekend event, and I'm gonna try to see if I can get him to come on and talk about it, right? Because I'm gonna be working with him on promoting the event. He specifically asked me to help him with this event, and it's
Okay.
coming up in November. It is a whole weekend. I think it starts on Thursday and it ends on Sunday. This is the perfect place for single women to come and meet men. These are
Man.
former NFL players, NBA players. So you're gonna have your old schoolers to your new schoolers, and they have a golfing event one day, they have a polo one another day, and then they have the big party an after show after that, and then they have the brunch thing.
Oh,
Now, this is the event that any single women that want a man of a certain standard need to freaking be at, because they coming from California, Las Vegas, and Arizona, and all over. Any former guys that were in the business, still in the business, and all type of businessmen, business owners, like from all over is going to be at this event. And he give it every November here in Arizona. And he specifically asked me, he want me to help him with the event. So I'm going to see if I could get him to maybe come on and talk about it, because we'll be promoting it soon anyway. But again, this is the type of event that single women need to be in the spaces.
okay, okay. So y'all heard that. Y'all heard that. I heard that. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Any kind of event where people are trying to build, or they're trying to do something, do the right thing. I mean, that's a good place to try to go meet men that are trying with it, because that's showing you that they at least partly have their mental right. You know what I mean? You can investigate them further when you meet them, but definitely. But I say the golf. I say if you want to meet men like today, wear something that's super pink and go out to the golf course. I guarantee you will not walk out of there by yourself, man. Somebody will say, "Hey, let me buy you lunch," and then you can sit there and talk to somebody, man. But anyway, that's a whole another conversation. Let's go down some of these comments, Patrice. Rita said, "No love at first sight, but I do believe that people can still find love." Yeah. I'm just saying, Risa, that I don't think that you can be in love with somebody at first sight, because how can you? Love takes time to build. It's like saying, I saw some lumber, and and the house is already built. The house is already built. Yet all you looking at is the land and the lumber laying on the floor. You take the time to build the house and build it strong. Then you got the house. Then you got the love, right? That's my opinion anyway.
You could be a lust at first sight. Lust, yeah.
Can be a lust at first sight, but you need both the lust and the love. You got to have both of them, Patrice. But you got to know when to use the lust. That's the thing. You got to love too. You got to know when to use both of them, man. Because sometimes you can lust after the wrong person, and you can love the wrong person, and that's gonna be a bad situation. That's gonna be a bad situation. You gotta have some discernment on when to apply these things, right? The problem that people get into is they try to do stuff like love at first sight. There is no love at first sight. In my opinion, it's better to be, okay, you can have the seeds of love at first sight. You can have the seeds. Oh, this person looks like it's going to work out. It looks like that. Okay, but then we got to take the time to actually build something here. Because relationships are like structures. You got to build it. You have to build it. And if you build it crazy, it's going to look crazy. But if you build it right, you build it straight away right, it's going to work right. Right? All right, JP says, where will we go? There we are. Who said that? Did you say that, Patrice?
I had said that too, talking to Charles when he was talking about the passport thing. And it's sort of like a thing like, I hear the passport bros speaking on that, like you're saying, well, I'm just gonna go overseas and, another country and get me a woman or whatever. And that's cool. But again, like I said, wherever you go, there you are. So if you're running from something to get to somewhere else, it doesn't matter. There you are, because if you're the problem, then no matter where you go, you're still the problem.
Yeah.
And even when you think that women are going to be different over there, they may be different like culturally and things of that nature, but if they still kind of like a bitch, they gonna be a bitch over there too. If they gonna be, if they in a certain headspace where they are more Americanized a lot of ways too, they're gonna be the same way American women are. If they are, because they are under the influence of American culture, right? So and if you go over there, and they could be more traditional even, but you don't know people's traumas, people's past, relationships, people's behavior in relationships. So you may or may not get lucky over there. I'm just saying, if you're the problem, and you can go anywhere in the world to Timbuktu if you want to. But if you are the problem, everywhere you go, there you are. Hello? Meaning you can't run from you.
Yep. Can't run from the work that you got to do. Like Sister Annie says, yeah, people flying plane tickets to land right in front of that place called the Mirror. Yeah, you can't. There's no airplane ticket you're gonna get that's gonna be able to get you away from that mirror. You're gonna have to do the work on yourself to be the kind of guy that a woman would say, hey, you know, I think you might be, I could consider you husband material, right? But see, in America, American women don't do it. Okay, but maybe it's got something to do with you. Maybe it's got something to do with you and your presentation, or you know anything, right? Well, man, I remember one time I was dating this sister. I would say dating. We were just going out with each other when we had the opportunity, right? Because I was still in school. I was trying to hustle and everything. And so anyway, I'm dating this sister, right? And the sister said to me, "Hey, I'm going to make some steaks. Come on over." She invited me over to her place. She said, "Hey, come on over," right? Still young, Patrice, green behind the ears, right? Oh yeah, I'll come over. Yeah, no problem, right? Come over to her place and she's making these steaks. And so I'm like, oh man, what's that smell? Something didn't smell right, right? So I was like, oh, it don't smell right. So she makes this steak and she calls herself smothering the steak, right? Patrice, how do you mess up smothered steaks? I mean, you just can't mess up smothered steak, right?
Yes, you can. If you don't know how to cook, you can.
Wait a minute, though, Patrice. I mean, you cook the steak, and you whatever you do, you put the garlic or the onions or whatever, right? And then you smother it. That's about it, right? I mean, it's not hard. This sister, I know what she did. She tried to add gravy to the whole mechanism. It was just a bad situation, right? So I'm eating this steak. I took about 2 or 3 bites of the steak, and I said, "Woo, I'm full." I said, "I'm full," right? And she said, "Oh, well, I'll save it for you." I was like, "Oh man, damn!" Right? She said, "I'll save it for you," right? So she saved the steak. So anyway, so she we watched TV and everything. We had we spent the evening together, whatever, right? And so as I was leaving, I was like, okay, let me get out of here, man. Let me try to get out of here without that steak. She was like, hey, wait a minute. You forgetting your steak. Let me wrap it up for you. But see, my point is, just because she said she was cooking steak, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, steak is gonna be good, but not necessarily. Not necessarily. Not all. Everything's gonna be good, right? Not necessarily. And so the same thing about me, us going out and trying to find different women. It's okay. So you want different women? Okay, cool. But the focal point shouldn't be, well, I want this kind of woman because this kind of woman is not going to kick back when I start trying to disrespect her, right? She's so impoverished that she's not going to try to kick back because I'm disrespecting her. No, what you want is a woman that's going to want to treat you right, no matter what language she speaks, no matter where she comes from. You want somebody that's going to treat you right, right? Sister Annie said, let me start taking notes. Go get a pink outfit. Man, I'm telling you, the pink outfit on the golf course never fails.
Sister Annie, and make sure it's hot pink, honey. Hot pink.
Yes. Never fails. Never fails. I have seen this happen so many different times. It's never. And all you gotta do is say, "Hey, can you help me with my stroke?" Or "Can you help me with this?" I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to learn how to play the game here. And anyway, we just gave you some $1 million game, right? We ain't even dating coaches, me and Patrice. All right, so any librarians going to be at Brother AC's event? What about principals and school teachers?
Oh yeah. Yeah, anybody that's anybody. From like I said, from the people in the sports industry to business owners to regular smegular teachers, lawyers, doctors, regular people with regular jobs. Yeah, I absolutely. Yeah. It's anybody that could afford the ticket can attend.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much are the tickets? Can you say?
I'll let you know. It
Okay.
depends because I think you could pay for each event separately, or you could do
Oh,
the
and you can pay
whole
for the
weekend
package,
thing.
and
Yeah,
then you
or
can
the
pay for
weekend package.
dinner,
Yeah,
anything.
it
Okay.
depends on like yeah, you could pay individually for whichever function you want to attend, or you could do the whole weekend package.
All right.
It's gonna be entertainment there, because they having the big ball gala party, after all of the sporting events with the guys. Then they have the big grand ball party the next night, and then the last day they have a luncheon, like a brunch and
Right.
stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be really nice.
You gonna sing?
I don't know. He had told me at first he wanted to hire me for the entertainment, but then he contacted me later and said, "No, I think I just might want you to help me, market the event and get some people there. Look, honey, look, my best girlfriend and my cousin are already coming. My best girlfriend is in California. My cousin is all the way in Chicago, and they both coming. So they like, oh, I'm there because they both single women. They like, I'm so
Right.
there.
But you're right. But this is just a common sense place to meet men that are maybe probably a little older, probably a little bit more mature, and probably are going to tell you straight away, hey, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that. And if you're down with the program, you're down with the program. You're not. And but you ain't got not probably going to be a lot of game playing when you deal with older guys most of the time, right? Most of the
Right,
time.
most of the time. Yeah, but they're gonna be from all walks of life, from all generations. Some of the because AC is retired, just like Jerome Davidson is. So both of those guys are going to be there, and a lot of their friends, and they are older guys already retired in the sports in the NFL, right? But then it's going to be some younger ones there as well.
Right, right. Easy, man. It's easy pickings. Easy pickings. Especially nerd guys. Nerd guys are easy. They're such easy pickings. I think about my wife. She didn't have no game. She didn't have to run no game on me or nothing. She just ran a full court press. You just straight from her heart, right? Yeah, I was just like, man, I was so impressed with that, right? All right, y'all. So we just told y'all how y'all can win the golf course is of course that I think that's action like right away. But there's other places that you can go like Patrice was saying, these medical seminars, these lawyer seminars, and if you get hooked up with you know maybe the college, the law school, local law school, you can volunteer to be on those juries, and you can meet these young new lawyers coming up in the game, right? So it's just putting yourself in a proximity of people that are trying to be about what you're trying to be about. Brother Charles said, "Ladies, bring your bikini for the pool party." You can bring your
Yep,
bikini for the
that
pool
part.
party.
That
Bring your
part.
bikini for the pool for the pool party. But I think what older guys are mostly looking for in a woman is the character. They want to make sure that if they hook up with somebody, this person ain't gonna just try to just take all their cash and just bounce on them, or try to put them in a bad way. They really are more in probably looking into the character of the person. So just be yourself. Just be a good person. And I'm telling you, most guys will be gravitate to it because they haven't seen that, and so they haven't seen genuine people in so long that you're just gonna stand out. You're just gonna stick out like a sore thumb, man. Gonna stand out. All right, Patrice, let's do this. Let's start giving some closing remarks. We had 3 hours, but your brothers, I'm a little under the weather, so I think I need to go lay down.
Oh, okay, brother. I hope you feel better.
Oh yeah, I will. You know, God is good, man. And you know, my granddaughter's got a cold, and I think she gave it to me, and so I'm feeling it.
My allergies been on 10 lately. Matter of fact, they've been on 100. Yeah. I have
Oh,
to,
oh,
I have
what
to
am I
see
doing,
it.
Patrice?
I have to see an allergist.
I'm sorry, Patrice. I want you to go see that allergist, man. Get that thing straight. But one thing I got to do before we close out, I got to
Sure.
talk about the backpacks. I got to talk about
Oh
the
yeah,
backpacks.
absolutely.
Where's that? Where's the backpack? Here we go. Patrice, do you know that we have $2,200 in the kitty already?
That's
Twenty
what's
two
up.
hundred dollars and $15.
That's
In the kitty.
beautiful. I
I
love
mean,
it.
so many people have generously donated. So many people have donate and pledged and donate and pledged and just crazy. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. We got cash goal $3,100 and we already more than halfway there. We rolling downhill now. We're rolling downhill. Right? Thank you, Cecilia. I just need to get some rest. That's all. I'm up running around checking on my granddaughter last night. So had to get it, we had to get her some what do they call those halls, uh, throat lounges, is because her throat was all messed up. So it's hard for me to sleep when I hear her coughing in the next room. So, but anyway, so I didn't really get that much sleep. Plus, I'm feeling it now, right? I'm always checking her head and checking her temperature, right? So now I done got it too, but I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. I don't feel bad, but I just feel like I feel like I've been drained, right, of energy, right. So shout out to everybody. But thank y'all, appreciate y'all. Okay, so let me do the backpacks real quick. Let me go over the backpack fundraiser real quick. Yeah, we got a cash app or a pledge, and we got a cash goal of $3,100. We raised so far $2,215. Shout out to everybody who gave so generously. We appreciate y'all. We're doing the backpacks. We're trying to get these kids backpacks. I don't know if you saw. I don't know if you saw, Patrice, that clip that I clipped up with Rico was telling the stories about being poor.
Oh yeah, I made a comment on it. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
very
you did. That's
very
right. You
very
did. You made
very
the comment.
profound. Yeah,
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 yep.
that's
I
right.
did.
And man, I mean, I both my parents grew up very poor, very, very poor, right? So I had heard all the stories about being
Listen,
poor,
I get it. My parents did too. Both of my
right? I
parents
mean,
grew up poor
it's
in Mississippi. Imagine that.
woo. I can't even imagine Mississippi. My parents, one in Texas, one in Pennsylvania, but man, I they were poor, right? So, they just you want to really set my father off. Say you was hungry, boy. You don't know nothing about being hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
We was all so hungry. We was all sucking on the same barbecue bone. I was like, damn. He would just go off, right? Whenever you said you hungry, he would just go bananas, right? And then my mother was the type where um, they were always getting evicted out of the projects, right? Because the mother couldn't, her mom couldn't pay the, like, I think it was like $45 a month or $35 a month, something like that. And her mother was they were always constantly moving all over the projects because they would come home from school and their mother be sitting out crying on a sofa, right? And all they belongings would be out on the street. And but some kind of way they would get hooked up into another place. And you know what I'm saying? So I knew a little bit about the stories, but but when Rico told that story, man, I was very moved. So I didn't know that we were going to be doing a lot of stuff. But then when I thought about it, I said, when I was a kid, if anybody gave me anything, I felt special, right? Even if it's a backpack. But Clarence, they using the tablets now. So what? You give me something
Right.
free, I'm keeping it, and I'm gonna feel good about it,
Exactly.
right? And then I may even use it, right? I'll probably use it, hopefully, right? But anyway, the backpack fundraiser, y'all. We trying to raise this money to get these backpacks. We got $3,100 goal. We got less than $800 left to try to get to get these backpacks. Y'all, when we raise the rest of the money, y'all, that's when I can start doing some. That's when I can start moving. Right now, that money just sitting there, and I want to get moving on spending that money on these backpacks, and so we gonna order them. We gonna order the supplies. We gonna order everything, bust it down, get everything ready, get everything set up, ready to go. And I think if we have a surplus, what I want to do is I want to order some strong performance shirts, and hopefully we can make all of this happen before we actually hand out the backpacks. That way, people who want to hand out the backpacks, we can have them in the strong performance shirts for the first annual Let's Talk to Better Black Life Kids Backpack Fundraiser, right? But anyway, Vaughn has it where you can pledge down there. You can pledge to my email, man. Just email me and say, hey, Brooke Clarence, I ain't got the cash right now. Okay, cool. You ain't got the cash right now, but I'll have it in a couple of weeks, man. I get paid, and then I'll be able to have it. Okay, cool. Give it to us, no problem. You know, you can just pledge it. You don't have to actually have the cash right now. You can cash out or pledge, right? So, wait a minute. Huh? Shout out to Von Bryant, man. Shout out to Von Bryant. Shout out to Von Bryant, man. Von Bryant just, Patrice. Do you know Von Bryant, Patrice?
I do, sir. Yes, I do.
Well, this beautiful brother, man, has just donated $5, a healthy donation for us, man, a generous donation. And we are going to put him in the book. Vaughn is way past the $100 club, way past that. But we're going to put him in here. This total is not right. This total's not right. The total you're looking at, Patrice, is not right. It's not right. We're going to fix it right now. We're going to fix it right now. Let's see. Let's see. Up. Let's do it. Let's fix it. Bam. There you go. There you go. $2,220. Thanks to the generous donation of Mr. Von Bryant. And all you, everybody else out here who has donated, man. You can donate anytime. Don't wait until we do a show. You don't have to wait until we do a show. You can donate anytime you guys get ready. What the heck? What's going on here? What's going on here? Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. OG Patrice, did you just donate? OG Patrice just donated. Generous donation. Very OG Patrice Vaughn.
What are you talking about? I'm on the panel with you.
Oh yeah, obviously. Yeah, that's right. I mean,
What you talking about?
get it in your name. Shout out to the anonymous donor, right? But let me just write OG Patrice just for short. But the anonymous donor just donated very generously. But Patrice, guess what? This total is not accurate. I gotta put down.
It's not accurate. It's not accurate.
It's not accurate. I have to change it. I have to. Because some good-hearted people have stepped into the room and done some good work here. There's your total. There's your total right there. That's your new total. $2,240. Absolutely. Thank you, y'all. Thank you, everybody who donated so generously. Thank you so much, man. We are going to get there. We are going to get there, y'all. Pledge or Cash App. Okay. If anybody doesn't have any question, we're getting close. We're getting there. And thank you to Von Bryant, man. Von Bryant, man. Without Von Bryant, without Patrice, without Rico, man, without all of you guys, everybody in the chat, without you guys, man, we will be just another dusty channel. You know, they're not being able to do anything, but we're going to show them how it's done, y'all. We're going to definitely show them how it's done. You know what I'm saying? We'll just give them the money.
The word dusty, the word dusty is not in our vocabulary over here. It's not in our vocabulary. We don't use dusty. Nothing about this channel, nothing about our people that rock with us, come on these panels, come in the chat are Dusties. Okay, let's
Nothing,
make that perfectly clear.
nothing. That's why we separating ourselves by doing some work, doing the work, by getting in there and doing the work, man. And then, wow, man, what Rico said, just to see some of these kids that they never probably not get nothing or whatever, and have them get a backpack, have them get some school supplies, have them get one of them gonna win what you call a laptop. I mean, come on, y'all. We really doing it, man. We really doing it, man. Shout out to everybody. Everybody, shout out to y'all, man, for making this happen, man. Appreciate all of y'all, man. Think about the kids. They're the ones that's gonna really maximally benefit, but also you gonna benefit because in your heart you're gonna say, man, I was a part of something greater than myself, and I did something to actually make the move the needle for somebody in their life, man. Wait a minute, hold on, what's going on? Brother Charles, man, Brother Charles Keys, Brother Keys, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Brother Keys, I got to put you in the book, brother. I got to put you in the book because we're going to acknowledge everybody. We're going to acknowledge everybody. Brother Charles, man, donated to the kids, man. Donated to the kids. Shout out to you. Very generous donation, brother. Very generous donation, man. Let me see what my total is down here, man, so I can get it right. Okay, I'm just make sure. Patrice. This total is not right, Patrice.
It ain't right. Tally it up right.
It's not right. It's not right. That's your new total right there. That's your new total right there. $2,250. Holy smokes. Thank you, Brother Charles Keys. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to you, man, for that generous donation. Shout out to Patrice for that generous donation, even though she don't want to accept it. Shout out to Brother Vaughn Bryant for that generous donation that he gave us. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you. Everybody generous so far, man. We just inching our way along, man. We just inching our way along. Like the 76 Steelers, man. We just inching our way to the end zone, man. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate everybody. Thank you, Brother Charles. We appreciate you, man. I know, man, you haven't hung out with us that long, but, man, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. This means a lot to us to have actually somebody that just got here kicking in. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. You're welcome anytime to come back here anytime, brother. Anytime. And sometimes it get a little crazy, but today we had a mild one, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you for you and everybody else who generously donated. All right, Patrice. Let us thank you, Brother Charles. Appreciate you, brother. Okay, let us start wrapping it up. Start wrapping it up so your little brother can go get in the bed.
Yeah, I want you to go get some rest and take care of yourself. Medicate yourself, get you some sleep, whatever you need to do so you can get well, brother.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get out of here, man, because I can feel it. You know what I mean? I haven't even taken any medicine yet. I know once I take the medicine, I'm gonna be gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you can feel your body dragging, right? You can feel it just like you pulling, like you got something tied to you when as you walking around, right? You're like, hey, what's going on, man? How come I'm dragging? I know how I'm dragging, but hey,
Yeah, absolutely. It takes some energy out of you. So yeah, get yourself replenished, brother.
I will, sis, and I appreciate you for that. All right, sis. Any closing remarks? Anything?
No, I just want to say, great show, great topics. I think we covered a lot. Like we talked about everything that that reflects on us as a people and what we can do to serve each other better and our children and our communities better. And that's what's important. But we have to look at ourselves and say, are we being the best person we could be so that we could be the example for others? Because no matter what, people are looking at you. The children are looking, they watching And it's just what it is. We are influencers as adults, just like YouTubers are influencers, just like sports people in entertainment, whether we want to take the onus and responsibility of it, we are, and somebody is looking at us in a light, right? So yeah, let's just, as they say in these YouTube streets, try to be the best version of ourselves
Yeah.
and represent that well. So yeah, great show though, bro. I say that, and then I digress.
All right, Patricia. Do we need to talk, or you good, or what?
I'm good, brother. I want you to go get some rest and get yourself so you can feel better.
All right, all right. I will. I'm gonna do that. I'll do that. That's my word. I'm gonna go and get some rest.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you so
All right,
much for allowing me on the panel again. And
come on,
salute,
man.
salute to the chat. The chat is where it's at.
Talk about allowing her on the panel. This girl ain't gonna. You know what this girl will do? If I don't let her on the panel, you know what this girl will be texting me and calling me. What's going on? How come I'm not on the panel? Shout out to Patrice. All right, girl. I'll talk to you later.
All
Okay.
right. Okay,
All
bro.
right.
Feel better. All
All
right.
right.
Bye
Thanks,
bye.
sis. Man. That is a good sister right there, man. As most of you are in the chat as well, all of you in the chat. I don't see anybody that is even suspect in the chat. So all of you guys are good sisters out there in the chat. Appreciate y'all and the brotherhood too. Wow, what do y'all think about Brother Charles Keys, man? Just dropped a 10 spot on us, man. Out of nowhere, man. Shout out to Brother Charles Keys, man. Appreciate you, brother. Okay, y'all. My closing remarks. I gotta get some closing remarks. I'm gonna get some. Thank you, Vaughn. I am. I'm gonna get some rest, man. As soon as I get done out of here, man, I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna start wrapping this stuff up in here, and then try to get out of here and get in that bed, man. Take some medicine. Oh, I gotta go get me some cough medicine, man. I gotta get me some medicine, and then I'll be able to do that, man. I know once I take that medicine, it'll be good night. See ya. Right. But I'm gonna get some medicine. Shout out. I forgot to get some for myself. We got some for my granddaughter, but I forgot to get it for myself. But yeah, hey, who's more important, right? Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Everybody for showing up, man. Everybody for showing up and spend a little time with your little brother, man. We trying to do this thing with these backpacks, try to get these backpacks together. And when we give them away, man, I'm so proud of all of you guys already, man, because we did so much. We did so much. I'm so proud of Patrice. I'm so proud of Vaughn. So proud of everybody in the chat. We all pulled together any reason. All of us, we pulled together, man. Brother Charles, out of nowhere, right? Everybody, Sim, everybody who pulled us together, who reached down, deep down, and decided to help us, man, with this backpack situation, man. Jill's Chocolate Boutique, man. Everybody who helped us. What about Bolo, man? Bolo, man, just comes in and just drops tons of money, man. Oh my gosh, man. Sir Hell Speaks. Danique Anthony, the brother that, doesn't show his face a lot, doesn't do it, but Cash just came in, man, just dropping money, man. Dropping money on us, man. Shout out. Yeah, man. Thank you, Patrice. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. But yeah, man. So what's my final thoughts on black men and how we can work? We need to work together. See, we're not gonna get anywhere in this life by staying towing the whole, it's all black women's fault line. We can't do that anymore. Or it's all the white man's fault line. We can't do that no more. It's not gonna help us get to where we need to get to. Unfortunately, we gotta have to take a good look in the mirror and say, hey, what is the role we're playing in these things happening like this? And then we got to address our issues. Same thing like we were telling the brother about going overseas. Yes, you can go overseas. You can go to Brazil, but get yourself clean first, man. Get them traumas out of you first. That way, when you go over there, you don't have to worry about a woman confronting you because of something that a lack of discipline that they see, right? People submit to either a greater version of what their understanding of discipline is. They don't submit to a lesser understanding or a similar understanding. Why should you submit to somebody on the same level as you? A person if you want submission from someone, then you have to practice discipline at a greater level, right? And at that level, then people can say, "Oh, okay, I respect you." They respectfully submit, not fearfully submit, which are two different things. There's a there is a when you sign in contracts, there's a term called duress. Duress, right? That means you sign in a contract, and it's not because you want to. It's because undue pressure is being applied to you to sign this contract. This is not your, this is not your desire to do this. You're being put under duress to do it, right? Those contracts are void. Once we find out, we can prove that you were under duress when you signed this contract. The contract is void, right? We don't want to bring women or men into our lives under duress, right? That's why God gives us options. God gives us the option. God don't want to force no. I'm gonna force you to love me, because I know you can't make a day. You can't make one day, right? So I'm gonna force you to love me because you can't make a day. No, even though you can't make a day, you got the option of whether you're gonna follow the right guidance or not, right? But there's no punishment. It's just somebody telling you, hey, if you don't do things this way, these bad things are gonna happen to you, right? That's all. I mean, there's not no punishment. Not no punishment. Just, hey, if you don't do this, this is gonna happen. That's all there is to it, right? So we gotta think, man. We gotta think, man. Black men, we have a lot of work to do, on ourselves first, and in the community second, right? And we should be, if we want to be quote unquote the leaders, then we're going to have to take the point position on getting some of this stuff done, and that's going to be not so much on the marching end, but on the getting people to move out and collectively do business together. Once we can show that we can do business and spend lots of money with each other, other people will be interested in our situation. Until then, it's going to be very difficult to get people who are not I see you, Mark. So people who are not they don't. It doesn't matter to them whether we spend money with them or not. They don't see us as a powerful enough adversary to even sweat. Not gonna do anything. We got to see ourselves as powerful enough to be able to say, no, this is not how this is gonna go. This is gonna go this way. But I'll talk more about this later, man. Right now, I'm really running down. I'm really running out of gas, y'all. I just love y'all so much, man, and I just want us to do better as a community. And I think that what we're doing here with the backpacks is showing that you can create a community that's really about doing something, man. And you can create a community that's going to do something. We may not all agree, right? Brother Charles said, get your passport. I agree with getting the passport. I just don't necessarily agree with the passport bros version of events, but I definitely and I'll say the same thing for women. Get your passport. Go where you need to go. Just don't take the drama with you. If you take drama, if you mad because men here are not going to deal with your drama, and you take that drama across the water, yeah, and you think some women think their beauty appearance is going to be the thing that keeps them, but your beauty appearance is only going to last so long, right? At some point, love is going to have to step in there, man. Not have to, but that's what you want. You want everything to develop and meet at love. Everything, all your sacrificing, all your sacrificing, all your diligence, everything that you guys are working together, everything meets at love, right? And the love is like the glue that binds everything together. Your hard work, your sacrifice, everything. But that takes time. That takes time to build that. It takes time. Right? Don't worry, new bro. You can watch it in the replay, man. This is gonna be a short one, man, because your brother's feeling a little under the weather, so I'm gonna cut out early today. But shout out to everybody out there in the stratosphere, man, that listen to us, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody who donated so much. I got so many names that I have written down. We're gonna acknowledge everybody, man, when this thing is all over with. This thing is all over with. Patrice, Patrice is crazy. By the way, y'all, Patrice is not on today, so she will be on next Sunday. So next Sunday, we might start a little earlier. We might start about maybe 10:30, just so that we have enough time to discuss everything, and then get out of here so we can go over there and support Patrice over in Knowledge Relationships. All right, y'all. So let me do the rundown, and then we're gonna be out of here. We're gonna get out of here. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? All right, there it is. Oh boy. Okay, y'all. That's right, New Growth. You do that. That's what comes first, brother. You can always watch us on the replay. All right. Most valuable people. Who's the most valuable people? The chat. The chat is where it's at. The most valuable people is the chat, and the chat is where it's at. Man, the chat. We got some beautiful people out there, man, in our chat. And we all of us, I want all of us to keep Sister Risa in our prayers, man, her and her family. Man, they've been going through some difficult times, but we wanna keep the sister uplifted in our prayers. And she is a OG from back in the day, man, of day one, A1 day one, and we want to make sure that we keep her in our prayers, right? And just pray for her and her family to come through this situation, as best as they can, right? But shout out to Risa Niels. We hadn't seen her in a long time. She stepped back into the groove. Appreciate her. Always thankful to see her. And everybody else in the chat, man. Everybody else. You guys once again did good, man. No problems out there, man. No problems for nobody. And we don't have people coming in the chat. The riffraff don't come over here. You know what I mean? So that is a good sign. Now I will tell y'all this. Shout out to Risa. I will tell y'all this. As the channel grows, if it's allowed to grow, they keep pulling us out of the algorithm. But if it's allowed to grow and messing up our notifications and everything, but if our channel is allowed to grow, we will have knuckleheads coming over here. We will at some point. So y'all get ready for that. But right now, we got it good, man. Nothing but sunny days, right? Nothing but sunny days. But just remember, we got to be ready for when the knuckleheads start approaching, right? All right, but shout out to the chat. Chat's where it's at. Once again, a great performance by the chat. Shout out to the chat. Great performance. Very strong performance and very solid. Very, very solid. As always, from the most valuable people, the chat. Very strong performance. All right, y'all. Let's moving on. Let's get to our panelists, the people that came up on the panel. We had a small panel today. The only thing we had was our sister OG Patrice, right? What did y'all think about Patrice today, right? What y'all think about Patrice? She taught me a new word. What was the new word she taught me? She taught me a new word about people that are attracted to people that are nerds, right? I forgot the word already, right? Hey, that sister is very smart, man. Very smart. But she came on like usual, man. Probably the reason why the show went as well as it did today, because I was really running out of gas. I was really running out of gas. Shout out to my sister OG Patrice. Saw me in the middle of some trouble, man, and came over here and helped me out. Appreciate y'all. All of y'all did, man. All of y'all was really helpful. Everybody, even in the chat, all of you guys really helpful trying to, give me the gas to continue ahead. So I appreciate all of y'all. But my sister actually came up on the panel, and shout out to her. Appreciate her. Strong performance, Risa. Definitely. As always, very strong performance from Patrice. Very strong performance. Shout out to OG Patrice. Yeah, man. So go make sure you go sign up for Knowledge and Relationships. Go to Knowledge and Relationships. Subscribe to Knowledge and Relationships, because Patrice has a show over there. I don't know if you saw it, Risa, where she her maiden voyage was last week, and she did an outstanding job over there. And just go check her out, man. She is a knockout over there, and but all the all of the guests that she was going to interview, I thought she was gonna send them over here. Dog, man, she's gonna use them over there. That's okay. I'll get them on. Sister Eddie, you looked it up, right? What is it? Sapiosexuality? Shout out to Sister Eddie, man. I had totally forgot that word, man. I knew she said it, but I forgot to say that, man. But Sister Eddie, Patrice ain't got no sense, right? She ain't got no sense. Sometimes. Very intelligent sister, but she can be silly when she want to be. Very silly when she want to be. Sapiosexuality. What the heck is going on with that? Shout out to Patrice, man. But yeah, my sister came up here, pretty much saved the show. Thank you for doing that, sister. I appreciate you. And like I said, going over to Knowledge Relationship and catch Patrice the next show. We got to be ready next week so we can hurry up and get out of here and go on over there and support the sister. But yeah, man, shout out to all of you guys. All of you guys are good people. All of you guys are great people, man, and I appreciate. I'm honored. I'm so honored to have you guys on our channel. If we just got 10 people that's for real rough riders here. She said, I could still hear you. See, that's the part about Patrice and Rico, man. You know what I'm saying? They can be silly when they want to, and then but when you ask them something for real, they can jump right on point, right? So you got to just like, man, okay, I gotta just keep listening to them, because they can jump right on point whenever they want to, right? So you're like, oh man, I gotta listen, right? She said, I can still hear you. I am Vaughn. I'm gonna wrap this up, brother. I'm gonna get out of here, man. Shout out to Patrice. Shout out to Vaughn. Shout out to Edie. Shout out to Risa. Shout out to New Growth. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Our dear brother Charles Keys, who came in and blessed us with a donation today, man. Out of the blue. Appreciate you, brother. I didn't even have to bring up the charts or anything like that. Appreciate you. Who else is in here today? Shout out to everybody. JP, the Inspiring Matriarch. If you haven't already subscribed to JP, the Inspiring Matriarch, go on over to JP, the Inspiring Matriarch, man. You might look at that content and you might think, hey, you know what? I like this content. Go on over there and check her out, man. I bought her coffee the other day, man. Shout out to the sister. My brother Sim. Brother Sim is in the house. Who else, man? It's a bunch of people, man. We all family, y'all. We just trying to hang out together. Hopefully we're making a space. Brother Anderson is in the building. Hopefully we made a space, man, to where we could hang out, brothers and sisters. We could hang out, man, and we not, there's no nefarious things that nobody wants or anything like that, man. We just say hanging out because we care about each other, man. We having a good time, man. Shout out to everybody that showed up today. All right, y'all, that's it. I'm out. I'm going to shut it down till Tuesday. And join us back on Tuesday. I don't know what the topic will be yet, man. Right now, I'm just going to take some medicine and go to bed. I'll let y'all know what's happening later. Oh, Marcus came through. Oh, thank you, Patrice. Marcus came through. Thank you for Marcus. Yeah, so let's let's meet back here on Tuesday. Now, I have a couple other videos that I got to edit. I went some other places out here in LA. I went to a couple other different places. So I might edit that, might upload some of that stuff before Tuesday. But other than that, meet me here on Tuesday. Oh, I got to clip Patrice today, too. I got to clip that. And then meet me here on Tuesday. And then let's do it all over again, y'all. Let's do it all over. Let's get this money for these backpacks, right? All right, y'all. Love y'all. Peace. And I'll see y'all on Tuesday. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't give Patrice a performance. Patrice, very strong performance, very solid performance. I almost got out of here without doing that. Patrice would have called me. What you mean I didn't get no strong performance? Sorry, Patrice. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all on Tuesday. Peace.